Look, for Port, we spoke about wanting to get everything right at this start of the point of the season. A win at the G is worth the 4 points, obviously, but it's worth its weight in gold for actually knowing that if you do get to that last Saturday in September, you've done it there.
It's about making yourself feel familiar about a ground that they don't get to venture to very often. Correct. So you're right, full dress rehearsal, so it should be at this time of the year. It's about building and adding those layers and consistency to their season and to tonight's game, but I don't think we can underestimate the importance of doing it at that venue as well. It's just the next piece on top.
5 most damaging, Eddie. That's a fair list. Have a look at that. Butters in Houston. Houston last week was phenomenal. 24 and kicked 2 goals.
Unbelievable. And look at those players that they're in line with there. Hayden Young, Toby Green and Patrick Cripps. Absolutely. Do you reckon they'll take Zach Butters?
I think you would tag him with Sparrow. Yeah. I would send Neil Bullen to Houston. So it's going to be interesting. I think for Port Adelaide, it's a big, important night.
Well, for Melbourne, it's about getting back on the winners list. They've lost 3 in a row, and Port Adelaide have won 3 in a row. So looking for number 4, they're in red-hot form. So who's going to kick their goals? Georgiadis is out. Todd Marshall's coming in. Not sure what he's like fresh, but we're going to see. And this is going to be an intriguing one for Port Adelaide to see if they can get it done at the G. Let's head to the bounce of the ball.
Battled through some injury. It's a nice start. Cozzy Pickett got his hand on it to Rivers. And Jack Billings, something of a late inclusion into this side. But a bit of illness around Melbourne. From Simon Goodwin pre-game, but fully fit group out there. Charging at it, Bailey Fritsch, an awkward landing. It'll be okay. Oliver scooped the handball out only as far as Houston. And now this is where they're dangerous. Loading up from half-back. Wines delayed the handball cleverly. Tried to flick it back. Did Butters. Neil Bullen appears to be giving some close attention to Zach Butters. And they've turned it over here nicely. Opportunity for Van Rooyen. Zirk Thatcher got it to ground. Van Rooyen well tackled by Wines. And Pickett got a hold of Zirk Thatcher. Some good early pressure here from the D's. Port Adelaide at half-back. We're going to get some space here through Trav Boak.
Aggressive kick into the middle of the ground. It's a 3-on-3 in there. Who wins the football? Salem might get it. He will.
That's a great start for Melbourne. We heard Simon Goodwin chat pre-game. The focus was to shut the corridor down twice. First through handball received, second through a 45 kick back into the corridor. Melbourne's been able to close them down.
And Port Adelaide prepared to take Melbourne on. You can see that slingshot off half-back. It's going to be critical. Melbourne's defensive pressure in their front half tonight. Salem, low and flat inside 50. Petty in the middle of the pack, creates a contest, then actually wins the crumb, flips the handball, Jones in the way, Billings. Neil Bullen immediately tackled by Jordan Sweet.
I think we can expect to see a little bit more of that kick going inside forward 50 as well. Selling the cues one way, but then pulling it across, being too predictable of late of the D's.
Sweet the tap, was looking for Farrell, wins it on the deck and then has it jolted loose. Petty gets rid of Wines. Quick kick, Zirk Thatcher. Howes works to the front on Rioli. Ball hits the deck, look out, danger. Through comes Butters. They spread to the southern side. Butters might use the runners now, he will. He's got Marshall cruising past as Burgoyne. Marshall will go towards half forward. Burn Jones gets in behind the defence and has it 48 metres out.
The transference of play was sent wide. Tomlinson and McDonald.
Sets it up, won't hit the target. Rivers has got to be tidy, isn't. Marshall pinches it. Misses left.
Tomlinson and McDonald have done a really good job of setting up behind the footy. So it was them v Charlie Dixon. Dixon couldn't find the back space, so that ball had to go wide rather than going straight through the corridor like Port Adelaide like to do.
Marshall back, missed the last 3 weeks with a hip injury. And Mitch Georgiades, who's their leading goal kicker out this week. Some general soreness. Here's Tomlinson tracking the wing. Max Gorman not where he really wants to be, picking it up off his toes. So Thatcher delayed almost in the kick and then popped it out of bounds on the full.
Clayton, over the line.
So a Melbourne free kick here right in front of the interchange race. Clayton Oliver, as we know, had his troubles pre-season. Really had to fight his way through the year. Always a live threat though. Superstar player that he's been. It's going to head back out. Will and Drew picked it up cleanly. Rattigalia, the centre half forward. The kick was beautifully placed. Medley played on open goal square. The class of Rosie, a little slider. It hits the post.
And you can see it took one little misstep through the middle of the ground, and the quality of Port to be able to pull the trigger. Quick handball receive here from Radaglia. The speed in which they want to move back through the corridor. Can't afford Melbourne at all to misstep.
He went long from the kick in. Salem got it to McDonald, and rapid movement to Petty. McDonald floats on by, receives it back. He's got Sparrow working towards the flank. In fact, it's Viney who managed to get in behind his best mate, Ollie Wines. Turns and goes from 51. Tries to drive it over the top of Alia. He gets a hand to it, gets it down, and then wins it. Well played. Gets it back to the middle of the ground. 2-on-1. Salem has it again. Can he hit a target inside 50? He does. Good work, Christian Salem, and Alex Neil-Bullen can go back to kick for the opening goal.
Well, it's such a great kick after you win the ball back. The temptation is to go fast, get it back into a dangerous spot. The experience of Salem there. You just see Neil-Bullen at the top of 50. Pulls the kick. Beautiful pocket of space. Now a really nice look at it.
Take 5 for the season. Alex Neil-Bullen, 2021 Premiership player. 48 out. Doesn't make good contact at all. Seemed to get out of rhythm in his run-up.
63rd consecutive game for Alex Neil-Bullen. I'd like to have that kick again if he could.
A pretty awful kick, wasn't it, Das? But the fact that where he drew the ball, that's a really important thing for him to do tonight. So he's got the roll on Zach Butters. Butters just ball watching there, locked completely on winning his next possession. When you're playing that run with roll, you can get into dangerous positions and get those balls.
Lever, the old hospital handball to Neil-Bullen, picked up by Cozzy, and he's just misfired there looking for Oliver. Out of bounds.
No surprises that Neil-Bullen has found an ally there in Leggy.
So the only thing you've got to hold on to, Daisy, is just kick a goal on them, and then they actually start paying a little bit of attention to you.
Some mutual respect out there, no doubt about. I think he was a master at that.
Advantage!
Oh, the kick partially smothered from Butters, and then he's gone after Neil-Bullen. As Lee said, that's a match-up, but they're going to go head-to-head all night. Picked up by Houston. Floats this one back through the corridor. Lever in front. Judd McVie held up by a couple of power tacklers.
Going to be some critical one-on-ones in the middle of the ground, and I'm already seeing them. As the power look to sweep it forward off half-back, and Melbourne have to stand up. Butters inside 50. Big defensive spoil. Spills front and centre. Wines pumps a handball. Radaglia 40 out. This is the lot.
You can just see the want of Port Adelaide to get it through the corridor, and even it's the rush kicks. Usually if you are in your back third of the ground, anytime you rush, you're trying to go to the closest wing area, the safest spot on the ground. That's 3 jacked kicks now we've seen go straight down the corridor. They're happy to back their numbers in contest in to get it done.
Petty has somehow managed to mark that. I think the first part of the shot hit him in the face. But a good contested mark nonetheless to half forward. Bergman's a quality player. Got his hands forward, Bailey French. Bergman's tackle executed superbly.
Stand.
Father, son, young gun is Jace Burgoyne. Seems to be getting better and better every time you see him play. Half-back looking for Radaglia, who's been prominent early. Langdon, how often have we seen him patrol this wing? Almost never comes off the ground. There's Ed Langdon. Salem, here he is again. Ed Langdon trying to burrow his way through. Oliver fighting hard. Butters, classy effort. The handball was pretty hot now. Cozzy Pickett, that's dangerous. You don't want to give Cozzy an opportunity. That was clever. Socketed inside forward 50. Viney came charging at Farrell. Alia, a little bit of a nervous moment, and then over the top of it, Jones opens the door now. Bailey French, super dangerous inside forward 50. And just touched on the last line by Zerk Thatcher.
It's those critical contests down the line. That's going to determine who wins the game all night. On the far side, you saw almost ping-ponging back and forward. Who could win that contest? Melbourne doing a good job so far, but you can see, like you said, Days, by design what Port's trying to do and how Melbourne's trying to counter that aggressive, forced through the corridor, if you like, from a ball movement point of view.
And Farrell has a weapon of a left boot. It's time to go short to Bergman. Dangerous kick. Here comes Fritsch. Makes the contest against Horn Francis. Wins it on the ground. Gets it to Pickett. And he misses.
They're structuring up beautifully, Melbourne. High alert, Simon Goodwin, as you said. Jonesy spoke to us about it, how we have to take that away. And you know Port Adelaide will keep going. They will keep going until you do. Just provide a little bit of a mindset slip. But at the moment, Melbourne need to make these opportunities, take the most of them.
Once again, back through the corridor, Max Gore, manhandle Jordan Sweet.
There it is, that battle, long down the kick, long down the line kick. Melbourne win out with Max's contested mark.
Nice start this from the D's, putting some good pressure on the informed Port Adelaide. Bailey Fritsch just surveying the scene, happy to be a little more patient. Now he goes the long one. Van Rooyen, Harry Petty there as well. Houston Gore, the gang tackle was on. Jack Viney has started forward.
8 inside 50s to 4 in favour of the D's, but neither team yet to find a goal. Mead harassed by Petty. Clean from Neil Bullen. Quick kick. 25 out. Horn Francis and Bergman. In fact, it's Bergman who takes it. He goes short. Rosie. Spreads to the southern side for Burgoyne. As Houston cruising past will chip a little further to Burn Jones. So Melbourne forced them wide. That's step one. Jones gives it some height. Dixon and Radigalay are both there. Drew taken down. The tackle Langdon. Sparrow can't escape either.
No fire, made an attempt. No fire, made an attempt. Straight back. Max, Jordan.
Lovely tap ball. Straight to Sparrow and they win the clearance. Kick from Neil Bullen, not quite so good. Tidy up at the back, Zerk Thatcher. Rosie. Houston will look to switch into the corridor for Bergman. And that creates some space here for Port Adelaide. Horn Francis got to work hard. Managed to get there on the half volley. Smothered the bounce. Brought it back inside with a dangerous kick, which just gets to its desired target in Farrell.
Beautiful left foot kick came Farrell. Caresses this one in the Radigalay direction, looking for a contested mark. Leader's fist on Frankie Evans to Rioli. Awkward ball to handle, really. If anyone can, Rioli can. McVee maybe cleverly stepped out of bounds and they'll reset deep in attack Port Adelaide.
So you've seen how Port Adelaide have had to move the ball now, make the adjustment to get something from Melbourne's point of view, which is the corridor. You've got to give something, which has been the out and around play, the switch or along the boundary line.
Gawn and Jordan Sweet slap forward by Gawn in the Pickett direction. Brilliantly evaded a tackle. Viney eyes didn't deviate off the footy for a second. Braver player as you've seen in the game. That's on a bad looking kick to Petty. Getting back a little with courage. Chandler, French, you're backing from here, Bailey French. Laser-like kick. First goal of Saturday night footy. Goes the way of Bailey French. They get around Harry Petty, who committed himself to that contest, put his body on the line, and impressive start here early of the MCG from the D's.
From Big Maxi, sort of signalling his intent. They want to get the ball going and be aggressive and bold. What I also loved was Jack Viney's kick. Probably could have gone wide, but went direct, attacked the forward line, allowed the opportunity, created the opportunity for forwards to then come in underneath, create the score. Simon Goodwin said Needs a big game from Jack, big game from Clayton if they're going to get the job done tonight. Both boys have started pretty well.
He's winning the ground ball battle early. Boak inside 50. Marshall comes steaming out. Waiting for Todd Marshall to return just in time as Mitch Georgiades went down with a sore quad. Todd Marshall's missed the last 3 with a hip. And allowed Ken Hinkley to make a like-for-like swap.
Just got the metre of separation. That was enough in the end. First to react, Tom McDonald chasing him and couldn't quite get there.
2017 for the season, 2015 from set shots, from 55 out. All right, next score. Back where the defensive ruckman needs to be.
So consistent Max Gawn in his effort. Ultimate team player. Marty Hoare takes the kick in. 56 back in the 2018 draft. Marty Hoare, his 18th game of AFL football tonight. Launching at it, Disco Turner. That was a nice handball to Tolstrup. Came from Billings. Tried to take on Port Adelaide defender and Farrell. Now the Power have got the numbers. Handed into the direction of Boak. Strong tackle from Oliver. Melbourne fans thought it might have been rewarded. Logan Evans to Boak. Good pressure applied, and now Lear's got something to think about. Cozzy nearly got him. Just shinned it forward. The handball comes out back to Trap Boak. Been involved in about 3 connections in this passage of play to Radigalea. Touch play on Shakur. Getting back Tomlinson. Got some work to do. But the support arrives, and now Rivers can spear this one out from half back in the direction of Penny.
He and Jones work it to the line.
Nice quality footy here on the wing there. Port's ability to be able to find a way out. Love that, the speed of hand and the quick-witted decision-making. That's why you have to stay so sharp in concentration from a defensive point of view. They'll punish you if you give them the opportunity.
Dixon taking a turn in the ruck. Rivers brushes Horn Francis, gets it to Van Rooyen, brings it back inside, pass Pickett. Well done, Turner. Shrugged to tackler. Emerges with the football. Great late pressure. Zerk Thatcher just in time.
Did so well. Just the last piece was to give the handball to Viney. Had him flying past, shoulders out, left foot in. The next link in the chain was at the top of the square, and that would have been Bailey Fridge.
Lear back towards the wing. Radigalea in that pack off his hands. Boak against Viney. Well done, Viney. Feeds it back. Sparrow. Chandler. Drew a man. Squares it to the corridor. Fritsch has got 3 to beat in the air. There's Viney again at the drop of the football. Neil Bullen. Langdon. Snaps. And goals. D's have got the first 2. D's have come with a clear game plan to try and negate what Port Adelaide are doing. So far they're doing it well. The challenge to do it for 4 quarters.
I love this from Kay Chan. It could have gone wide, but decided to square up, kick the ball aggressively back into the corridor, and then Jack Viney with the front and centre. Strength, beautiful hands, terrific finish. But it was the kick from Chandler. He could have handballed wide to Tholstrup, decided to go aggressive. Love that from an offensive point of view for the D's.
Really strong start this from Melbourne. Jack Viney directing traffic as he was about to kick. Chance for Fridge. Tolstrup had it slapped out of his hands. Disco Turner. Here comes Neil Bullen. Tried a little crafty kick through the pack. They're fighting on earnestly here. Port Adelaide trying to defend. Pickett. Kick Bailey Fridge. Pick it up. Overran it. Live footing. Neil Bullen snaps and misses. But they are on Melbourne.
Defensively so good at the moment. Coming forward. And this is what continues, and you'll see them to grow. If they can continue to get looks on the back of executing the game plan coming in, player by player, man by man, the confidence grows across the field.
Houston towards Marshall. Well done, McDonald. Melbourne just getting a fist in the air and creating those contests, allowing the likes of Viney to get to work as he did there with Mead. A fist in there creates the contest.
Jack Viney's last 7 or 8 minutes have been unbelievable. The courage you guys spoke about before, clearances, he's had 3 inside 50s, 3 score involvements, and that. He is just a fantastic player and a leader for this group.
+6 in ground ball gets at the moment, Lingy. They're winning the ground battle, aren't they?
They are. They're absolutely in control of that. And the guys are right. They've just got to capitalise on this now. They're in control.
Rivers, handball, only as far as Mead. D's doing a good job scrapping on the deck. Contested possession, Jonesy, +13, 34-21.
That's a great sign. That'd be a key statistic that Simon and his coaching group would be looking at. A real driver, indicator of where Melbourne's mentality is at. They're doing a terrific job in that phase of the game.
Port Adelaide coming off a 112-point demolition of the Swans. They are under some pressure here as Rivers with the set mark. He's going to send Melbourne back inside 50. See Disco Turner in the goal square. He wants the long bomb in. Trent Rivers' finest kick. Tolstrup did well though. Viney somehow managed to get a handball out. Chase Burgoyne ends up with it. Tries to direct it. Horn Francis. What a mark. Had no real play on it, Horn Francis, but somehow managed to drag it down Logan Evans out wide, and this is Travis Boat. Port being denied time and space. They might be a chance to generate some here, although Marshall struggled to pick it up, and by the time he did, Melbourne was set. Pickett receives the handball to half forward. They've got a one-on-one back the other way. Petty's going to look up. He's got Viney tracking back towards the square, as you can see. He's going to have a couple to beat. He'll be outsized by Lear, so Fritsch probably don't want to sit that on top of his head. Kicks to that spot, and Lear picks it off. Well played, Lear. Held his position, controlled that space, and killed off that attack. Houston to Butters, and they do go straight up the middle. That's the danger where they can get in behind the Melbourne defence, and they do here. Evans, now Drew. Horn Francis gets over the back, and that there is Port Adelaide football.
Jeez, that ball movement is incredible. The kick-off half-back, they've touched on it a lot. You have to be on every second of the game. You give them a small sniff, they'll pull the trigger. That was beautiful ball movement. Port Adelaide at their absolute best right there.
Building beautifully to his career, Jason Horn-Francis. This game's 60 tonight, his 3rd season. Numbers getting better steadily year by year. For Port Adelaide's first. Sneaks it in. Jason Horn-Francis with his 20th goal of the season. Port Adelaide had their first of the night. Slick attacking ball movement right up the middle. See the opening and they go for it.
Just a great shot here of how many players that kick bypasses. There you go. You see all the numbers that kick was able to get over the top of. Then it leaves a 3v3 inside forward 50. Port Adelaide did such a great job. One up at the kicker so the defenders couldn't drop the sag off. And it was on the end of it, out the back, Jason Horn-Francis. Great work rate. He started well.
Yeah, just got over the top of sweet. Again, Jack Viney's pressure was able to trap it in the contest. Billings trying to fight past Boat. Awkward one at ground level. Trap Boat had a number of possessions. That was his 8th in the first quarter, but it pinballs back to Max Gorn. Flicks it out to Neil Bullen. Fires a handball. Billings with a bumble at the worst possible time, and then had to toe poke it forward. So Thatcher at the side of his boot. Opportunity still here. Picking it up, Sparrow ran back into traffic. Viney, Mead from behind, Burgoyne. Again, we've just seen that constant forward pressure, Jonesy, from the D's. Been a real feature so far in this game.
Yeah, it has, but I also really admire how Port's being able to hold up under this level of pressure and timing forward half. They're doing a terrific job.
And Roy in the tap.
Thanks, guys.
Melbourne, for all their dominance, probably would have liked to have capitalised a little bit more, but Port's doing a great defensive job just holding their nerve.
Sweet, nice tap. Butters, searching kick to the wing, 2-on-2. Hoare in there gets a fist. Ollie Wines tried to sock her off the deck, left it behind. Salem McPhee floats it back towards half forward. Good use of the body there by Logan Evans. And now they're a chance to explode off half back. Farrell with a penetrating kick. Radagalea tries to get over the back. He does. Gets through his fingertips. Gives it off. Burn-Jones bounces it through for a goal. Once again, you just leave the door ever so slightly ajar, and they whisk it down the other end with maximum efficiency.
And this is the subtleties from a defensive point of view. Radagalea gets in behind Tomlinson there, uses his body terrifically. Just the penetration from Farrell off half back to get that ball in behind to give them the opportunity, and then the work rate from Radagalea and Burn-Jones to get in behind the Melbourne defence. Just a minor lapse, a technical mishap from the D's, and Port punish you.
Ripper Darcy Burn-Jones is proven to be as a forward number 1 AFL scoreboard impact. Classy goal again. He's not far away from this one. Rivers steps back into Burn-Jones. Salem riding shotgun, led some support. Did pretty well to get it to Chandler. Shane Warne stands side of the MCG. And now Melbourne will go into a little bit of possession mode here for a while if they can. Ed Langdon's got it. Runs his full measure, drives it in the Gorn, sweep direction, and that's a good plug from Turner. Goes long, looking for Billings, Aaliyah looms large. It was easy pickings for a big, powerful defender. And Aaliyah read it better than anyone else.
They have to start lowering the eyes and hitting and connecting with the forwards. Harrison Petty presented beautifully at the footy. It was ignored, which allows Aaliyah with confidence just to drop back into the hole. You hit one of those, I guarantee there's a shift in his mindset.
Butters' kick turned over to Turner. Now goes towards the pocket. Fritsch will come from the back. Butters takes the crumb. This time he kicks it into Langdon, who can't quite keep it alive. Aussie Pickett with 9 touches and Salem 9 for the Demons. Zach Butters, the man on screens, had 10. 8 for both and 7 for Aaliyah, including a couple of those intercept marks. Inside 2 minutes. You can see the efficiency of Port Adelaide. Just 8 disposals inside 50 for 2 goals 3. Mead off to Zirk Thatcher. A one-on-one contest here. Horne-Francis and Hoare gives him a nudge, wins the football. Marshall. Contact. Tomlinson a step late. He's got Dixon at the top of the square. He's got the sit-on call. Well done, Max Gore. Looked to be out of position, did it superbly.
He was out of position, that's why it looked like it. He was a sitting duck there against a bloke who probably has him for strength, not size. But that is an excellent effort. Getting back, Dixon isn't in the ruck. That is Max just working hard for his side.
What a moment in the game that was for the Premiership captain of the Melbourne Footy Club. It just sums up the impact that he has had for such a long period of time. Max Gore, brilliant effort. Jack Billings. Put his hand up, signalling a long kick down the line. We're going to need a contest out of Turner, but Petty came in from the side. Made a pretty good fist at the mark. Trav Boat started really well in this game. Now they load up. Marshall's pushed up to the wing. Immediately dumps the kick. Charlie Dixon getting back lever. As we've seen so often with the defensive spoil, there was Melbourne numbers everywhere, but Jackson Mead beat them all up. There's that kick from Boat. Laces out Charlie Dixon. Beautiful pass.
Demons defenders did a good job initially, but just got caught ball watching. You can see there, Tomlinson at the top of 50 on that Telstra logo. Not quick enough to swivel the head, get back, covering space rather than an opponent.
Kicked 8 goals in his last 4 games, returning back into the side. Charlie Dixon on the quarter-time siren has steered that one a little narrow, and that 1 point will be the margin at quarter time. Nice start to Saturday night footy. Melbourne and Port Adelaide, it's the power.
All right, there we go. It's quarter time here at the MCG. And with that kick after the final siren from Charlie Dixon, that put Port Adelaide in front 2-4-16. They lead the Melbourne Demons 2-3-15 as we see. Port Adelaide came into this game as short favourites to win this game at 135. And of course, the outsiders, Melbourne, at 303 to win this game. Both teams have still got good chances in this game to win. Melbourne played pretty well. They had most of the gameplay in that section, but Port Adelaide defence held up well. All right, let's go and have a look at, just want to have a quick look at the team lineups, who was in and who was out. Tomlinson, Salem, Billings and Hall was in for Melbourne. Stephen May, Wakefield, Woden and Bowie is out for Melbourne. Of course, Jake Melsham is the sub. And for Port Adelaide, Todd Marshall comes in from Georgiadis, who is out, and Quinton Narkle was the sub. Let's have a little bit of a look at the players' stats. Ryan, how you going? Squire, welcome in. Good to see you. What's happening? Hey, Jamie, Dwana, every day. What's going on? Good to hear you going well. Good to hear. I hope you've been enjoying the footy today. Zach Butters is the leading with Travis Boak with 10 disposals on the ground there for Port Adelaide. Salem for Melbourne, next best with 9. Pickett 9. Billings 9. Todd Marshall 8. Jack Viney having not too bad a first quarter there for the Demons with 7 touches. Aliir, he's been kept quite busy also with 7 disposals, 7 kicks and a couple of marks he's had there. Tom Sparrow on 5. Ed Langdon on 5. Bailey Fritsch, 5 possessions. He's had 4 kicks. He was the opening goal scorer for this match for the Demons. So we just continue to have a look down. Maxi Gawn, big ruckman there. He's had 7 hit-outs, 4 possessions, 2 kicks, 2 handballs. He's going okay. The big man, Maxi Gawn. Jake Lever with just 3. A few down here. Of course, just on a couple possessions. Not doing a great deal at the moment. This is the line for the disposals right there. We'll go and have a look at the goal scorers. Of course, not many goals in this opening term here. We've only got the 4 goals so far. Ed Langdon and Bailey Fritsch for Melbourne, both with 1 each. And for Port Adelaide, Jason Horn-Francis and Byrne Jones, a lot of hyphenated names there, have got the goals for them. The fantasy points after the first quarter, Jack Viney leads that on 43 from Petty Harrison on 40. That is the players' stats. Team stats, reasonably close here. 99 to 102 to Port Adelaide. Kicks, Port Adelaide by 9. 6 handballs in favour of Melbourne, inside 50s, both getting plenty of opportunities. 17 inside 50s for Melbourne for their 5 scoring shots. Of course, Port Adelaide inside their 50 13 times, and they've had 6 scoring shots. Disposal efficiency, we go 65 and 77, not too bad so far. Inside 50, hey, Wenny, hey, you can't make a love shout out. Welcome in, Wenny. Good to see you. How are you? How are you? Thanks for coming in. Yeah, just covering the footy today. Footy day today. We're only about 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away from finals time, so it's all close action happening at the moment, and a lot of people in to listen to the footy, see how their team goes. Free kicks, 3 free kicks all, efficiency inside 50. Melbourne are well down. They need to lift that up a bit, 35%, whereas Port Adelaide 53. Stoppages 7 to 8, Melbourne by 1. Clearances, Port Adelaide by 1. Centre clearances, Melbourne by 1. So everything's reasonably even all around this aspect. Contested possessions, Melbourne by 5. Uncontested, Port Adelaide by 9. Turnovers, they're turning it over quite frequently at the moment in this match. Marks are pretty well even. 26-25 marks inside 50. Port Adelaide finding their target a little bit better than Melbourne in this opening quarter. Contested marks, Melbourne a little bit stronger in the air, 5-2. Both tackling quite well, 16-22 in the tackles inside 50. Melbourne bringing the pressure there. a lot of players retiring. Yeah, there is. I think there is a lot of players retiring this year, Ryan. Well, it gets to that stage where a lot of the star players, you know, they've got to hang the boots up sooner or later, and sometimes, unfortunately, you know, for our favourite players, it's time to say goodbye to them and see them end their career. And most end it on a high note, which is what we like to see. At the player's discretion, instead of the club saying it's time to go, the players hang up the boots. But there we go. All right. Thanks, everyone, for coming in. Welcome again. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Winnie. We're going to take you back down there while they just about ready to get the bounce going for the second quarter, whereas Port Adelaide leading Melbourne by 1 point, 2-4-16 to Melbourne 2-3-15. Let's head back down to the ground with the commentators for the second quarter.
They need to get the ball forward more and get it played in their half of the ground, obviously more inside 50 as well. Cozzy Pickett started well for Melbourne too, 9 touches, 3 score involvements and 2 centre clearances for Cozzy. So they're using him around the midfield there and trying to get the damage around the ball.
And they played Toddy Marshall nice and high, so Asava getting plenty of room in that forward 50 down there with Charlie Dixon as well. So want to get some pressure in their forward line, Jack, to lock that in. We'll see what the time in forward half looks like at half time. Let's go to the second quarter.
As we start the second term, Gawn the tap, Pickett explodes onto it with speed, wants to get the hands free to McPhee. I said it was a throw. Change of the mix. Nathan, what do you think of Cozzy Pickett going into centre bounces?
Oh, I love it. It's quite a common tactic used by the Ds, in particular at the start of quarters and after goals. One interesting move is Clayton Oliver at half back, now being pulled deep by Jason Horne-Francis.
It's been a fascinating tactical battle so far. Dixon, Marshall went early over the top of Lever. Nicely gathered, there is Horne-Francis. Got back onto the left. The pressure forced the kick wide. Tomlinson, Langdon. It'll bounce. Past Dixon. He gathers. Gets rid of Viney. Evans shrugs a tackle.
Contact.
Hop on high. Has it 75 from goal.
Stand.
Impressive mover, Logan Evans. Just his 8th game. Found a really good player there. Port Adelaide Lever above the pack, but Horne-Francis speed to Byrne. Gets it back to Rioli with skill to Byrne, and he's slightly miscued and easily cleaned up by Jake Lever.
Jonesy, it's a great pick-up by you. The moment Horne-Francis had that matchup, straight back with Oliver, and if that stays as the matchup when it's deep, Horne-Francis is going to absolutely torch him, because Oliver got lost then, was ball watching. I reckon they've tried to make a change straight away here, Melbourne.
You're on the money, Lee. He certainly got lost in the handover and completely disrupted the structure and numbering off of the Melbourne back. So that's one to watch.
And Blake House has gone to him now. Such a natural forward, Jason Horne-Francis. Looks at home deep. Farrell. To the wing. Dixon will come over the top of Tom McDonald, create the spoil. Drew releases the handball to Burgoyne. Bounces it towards forward 50. Rioli straightens up. There is the aforementioned Jason Horne-Francis.
Huge alarm bells for the Ds. So Rioli there, Clayton Oliver's direct opponent in that passage of play. Again caught ball watching, drifting across to the contest. Rioli the easy outlet.
Natural forward instincts. Jason Horne-Francis to now step around and kick his second goal. Some midfielders have to learn forward craft. Others just seem to be naturally blessed with it. Jason Horne-Francis appears to be the latter. Goes forward, looks comfortable, and extremely dangerous.
Just keep your eye on Clayton Oliver there to the right of the umpire. His direct opponent there is Willie Rioli out the back. That is a leg rope of 15, 20 metres, getting sucked in, watching the ball watching. And we know that he is a follower of the footy. That's why he's been such a great inside mid. But if you are going to half-back, you need to be accountable. He wasn't, and that's the reason Port have got another goal.
Clean possession initially by Max Guy. Look at the class of Evans. Spears the kick, looking for Dixon. Burne-Jones. He's a consistent goal kicker and sprayed that one. Just stuck it in for a behind.
All right, I feel like we're picking on him now, but they've rolled him over to Darcy Burne-Jones, Clayton Oliver, and just didn't influence that contest. Darcy Burne-Jones gets a shot at goal. I know Simon Goodwin's trying something with Oliver off half-back, but it's just not working. Whoever he rolls onto becomes the most dangerous forward for Port.
Wouldn't be surprised if he comes off and gets the message, Lingy, because those last three efforts at any level aren't good enough, let alone when your side is scrapping so hard defensively to stay in the game.
It's been a great tactical battle between the two coaches. McVee's kick. Viney front and centre. Runs into Evans. Fends him off. Floats a kick towards Van Rooyen. Good strong hands. 65 out. Wants to go quickly. Nicely done from Billings. Created a contest. As the umpires see this, insufficient intent. And the hand in there from Billings creates the opportunity. And Daisy, you've noticed something?
I think Clary is going to come off and get that direct feedback from the coach. Lingy, has he made his way?
Yes, he has. Just head to the bench right now, Daisy.
Around steps Pickett. And the D's get their third. Credit partly to Jack Billings for creating the contest, keeping it alive. Opportunity off the back of that. Isaiah Pickett kicks his first. D's respond back within 3 points.
Well, you can see what Todd Marshall was trying to do. Slap it through the points. Would have been fine under enough pressure, but as soon as that doesn't go the right side of the behind post, he's out of bounds. Correct call by the umpire. Insufficient intent to keep it in. And you don't want to be leaving a player like Cozzy there, and you also don't want to be on the end of that phone call.
It's a long phone call, that one. Larry's getting some instructions. He was tapped on the shoulder and pretended he didn't realise there for a start. He's spent some time on the bench. Melbourne right in the contest, though, as Neil Bullen's kick just a touch too tall for Cozzy, and Bergman was awake to it, took it cleanly. See, his body language was all corridor. He's going to back Radigalea in, and McDonald did well. Fisted it down to Sparrow. Turner from behind Lee with a powerful fist. Beautiful pick up, Alex Neil-Bullen. That was not easy at full pace. Kick though was well directed, and another intercept mark taken by Bergman.
Short option is Farrell. Now Burgoyne. To the wing, and Sweet, the only one to present. Butters pops it over the top. Houston to run onto it. Pressure from Rivers. Salem. Handball smothered. Jones works it forward. Dixon pops the handball. Lyons had to wait. Pressure came from Neil Bullen. Burgoyne kept his feet, wins the football and gives it to Houston, who reciprocates. Drives inside 50, Butters across the front, couldn't hang on. Front and centre, Crum smothered off the boot of Rosie. In fact, it was Evans. Tolstrup back to the wing. Free kick. Attempts. And Power will have it.
Jones gets the free kick. Drives it deep in the Radigalea direction again. Lever edged out in front. McDonald, a little toe poker forward. Van Rooyen left it behind. Nice pick up from Houston. Spins back into the corridor. Look out for Cozzy. He read it like a book. Got a clever little hand in. Comes back to Will and Drew, and that will work. To Connor Rosie. Drives it deep to the goal square. Max Gawn. Mark, free kick. Free kick's going away of the champion. Captain of Melbourne, and Max is trying to do a bit of umpiring as well. just always gets back to the right spot. Such a great work ethic.
Massive kick as well.
Goal-saving effort in that first quarter. Now another one here in the second quarter.
Langdon releases Neil Bullitt, and he's got Turner out the back. Just needs to get the kick over the top of Jones, and does. Van Rooyen in the pocket. Fritsch there too. You can see them both just left of screen. He'll set it up. Van Rooyen will contest. Couldn't quite control it. Bergman flirts with the boundary line. The kick waited, and Sweet gets there.
So no doubt, Jones, there'll be some frustrated Melbourne fans watching this because they are doing so much right. The D's, it's just that last piece, the last kick inside 50 that counts. They just haven't been able to connect the field.
Goal apiece in the second term. Here's a chance for the D's again.
Biney's got some space. Shares it with Chandler. Heads into the path of Van Rooyen. It was a well-weighted kick because Aliir was back at the top of the square and he thought his way through it nicely, Jones.
He did, and executed beautifully. But the difference in that passage of play, you touched on it, Dave, the flow. So they keep flow on the footy, they roll, they go, they use their hands, they keep the ball in motion, which allows the forwards to be able to then read the cue, create space, offer up a lead. It's a hell of a lot more effective than what we saw on their last entry.
Van Rooyen has not connected with the right part of the footy there. And across the face and out of bounds.
It was good craft regardless there from Van Rooyen. Just turning Zirk Thatcher inside out, looking like he was going to roll back to the square, then a pivot step straight back at the kicker, finding the blind spot of Zirk Thatcher, then presenting to the kick. Once again, though, the frustration grows for all the good work. Nothing to show for it.
Houston to Bergman. Aggressive kick to Aliir, but that's what it does. It opens it up for Horn Francis. Charges away from Van Rooyen. Pickett tries to run him down. Spears the kick to the pocket. Radigalea, the target, bounces out. Incidentally, Radigalea, that pronunciation, the Fijian family pronunciation. And Vasaba's surname.
Jordan.
And repurposed as a forward.
Sorry, James, this is the subtle defensive letdown by the D's there. Marty Hall, take the body. Either get the ball on the ground or take the body. Don't allow Aliir to roll and go.
Rivers with a quick kick out. So Thatcher got back. Scott Turner hung on for a while but got away with it. Tolstrup through the corridor. Opens a path for Neil Bullitt. Fires a little handball to Bailey Fritsch. And he ran out of options. And has gifted that back to the power. And half back, Frankie Evans. With all the time in the world all of a sudden. And Love getting it into the hands of Farrell. Shares a little short one with Trap Boat. Again, that corridor kick. Always prepared to take it to Aliir. It opens up the path for Rosie. Dumping kick. Max Gorm gets back. Melbourne defenders everywhere. They crash the pack. McDonald slides a little handball back to Marty Hall, and they went their way through this pretty well, Melbourne.
Chandler. He's looking for Tolstrup. That was a beautifully weighted kick. Clear Drew was perfect for Colton. Goes down the line.
Holding, Melbourne.
That was a block off the ball as Turner was trying to make his way to the contest. He's got Pickett one out with Burgoyne. He's got Houston now dropping back to be the third man. Fritsch will try to get across to create a contest. Won't need to. Isaiah Pickett at the top of the square. Chase Burgoyne pleads his case. Pickett's got his second. Melbourne had the lead. Isaiah kicks his second of the term. And the D's have a plan. Right now they're executing it well.
You can see Cozzy down the bottom of the screen there, remaining active, taking Burgoyne deep, and that's just great forward craft in the end. You can see him using his body, Quite possibly that's two hands directly in the back, I would have thought, but gets away with one.
It'd be a one-on-one nightmare, Cosy Pickett.
No, he would be.
No one wants to be caught in that situation. Oliver's back in there with maybe a head of steam up Rosie. Got a touch in, but it's still going to be a Melbourne opportunity. Langdon, can he surge it forward? They've done well. Jackson Mee to win it back. Port Adelaide tries the kick with a Rioli. Got a one-on-one. McVee.
Melbourne.
That was well played from the defender. Put his body in the right spot, Daisy.
Yeah, it gets a lot of those big matchups against the dangerous forwards. Was thrown a challenge in a pre-season game against Dustin Martin. Such is the respect they have for him one-on-one.
Sailing to Billings, that was an important mark. It was 2-on-1 if it hit the deck. Jack Billings laid in a couple of Melbourne players in Bowie and Woden out with Gastro. Penny. Turner. Well done, Aaliyah. Back to Turner. Neil Bullen. He's got a runner to the outside. Chandler, handball won't sit. Nathan, what have you made of Melbourne's ball movement so far? We've talked about Port Adelaide. It's Melbourne, when they win, they're number 5 in the comp, are going from back 50 to front 50, but 16th when they lose.
Yeah, look, I think you can see the intent tonight. Every time they mark it, they are wanting to roll, get it moving quickly, whether that's long down the line or the willingness to give the handball receive. You can see there is some purpose in terms of how they're trying to move the footy.
I like the understanding they seem to have as well as if you take the big mark like Petty did there, you're going into a deep forward line which probably doesn't have a lot of numbers as to how it's got to you.
Brilliant strength from Max Gorn to the square. Petty had a good claim on the mark. Burgoyne under pressure. They are having to work really hard here. Turner's tackle was good. Fritz tried to get it back to Chandler. Played Farrell in the way. Kick smothered. Ricochet's back inside 50. They apply more pressure here, the D's. Jones, all the tackle appetite the D's have got. Bailey Fritz got through. Frankie Evans' tackle. Sailing on the right side for a left footer. Class kick as a rule. Couldn't get it online, but more impressive forward pressure from the D's.
Yeah, that's their 11th inside forward 50 tackle on the night. They're averaging an entire match over the season, that 11 number. So that has been at a premium. Again, the frustration, giving themselves every opportunity, just need a finish.
That passage of play will be on the Monday tape review. Simon Goodwin will be thrilled with that. That's Melbourne's DNA. That pressure and hunt. So far they lead it by 4 points. 8 minutes to play in the opening half. Drew receives from Burgoyne, and the other thing Melbourne have done is prevent that fluent ball movement from the back half that Port Adelaide love. Had to take short options, which they generally do well. Jones, Burgoyne, there's more pressure.
You get an idea, like this is watching Melbourne at their best, executing just the simplest of game styles. Fundamentally, they're just trying to they're all on the same page. You can see it's built on pressure and predictability. And that simplicity, when the players buy into it, you get contest from your big men, you get heat from the smalls, it gives them the opportunity to compete and be in the game.
Gone beautifully done over the back to Neil Bullen. Floats it towards Tolstrup, who uses the body well. Melbourne with some momentum here, but they need to put it on the scoreboard. He's got McDonald and Turner at the top of the square. Will head in that direction. Marshall comes back in support. Ball on the deck. Quick hands Viney. Billings back to Viney. 40 out. Can he get the purchase? Swings at goalward. Not quite.
And even then, I would have liked to have seen Tolstrup, go even quicker with that entry inside forward 50. But it's the competitive aerial contest from Turner and Petty to actually get the ball on the ground. That's the vital ingredient in terms of Melbourne then being able to compete, put pressure on.
Changes in a week of footy. Port Adelaide had 71 on the board before the Sydney Swans registered a score last week. They're in a real scrap here at the MCG in this first half. A week later, that works to Horn Francis, who's got a couple of goals. Ready for Port Adelaide.
It might get a little worse here for Port Adelaide. Todd Marshall, you saw in that last marking contest, just take a while to get up. He's come straight to the bench. The doctors have gone straight to him as well, so he's going to be checked out, looking very sore.
Thanks, Lingy. So boat disposal number 13 coming up. Game 366, equal with the Great Birdie Quinlan. 12th all-time VFL AFL games played. Max Gorn pushed flat out underneath the footy, and that had to be a free kick to the captain of the Melbourne Footy Club.
There's Todd Marshall coming down awkwardly, and he's heading down to the rooms. We'll get an update from Cameron as soon as there is one. Ball goes high. Again, Petty needs to compete. Again, Aaliyah comes over the top. But the contest in the air that you mentioned, Jonesy, the likes of Harry Petty, it's preventing Port getting their intercept mark game going, which then they launch their attack off.
Yeah, and that's just the game of chess that you're playing, game style versus game style, and you're hoping that in those key areas of the game that your players can execute better than the opposition. And at the minute, Melbourne, those two boys in particular, Turner and Petty, are creating contests which is igniting Melbourne's ground level game.
Also, the effort of Big Maxi so far in this one, his ruck work, his ability to get back, working over sweet. He's literally saying, come with me, fellas, I'll show you the way.
On top at the moment, have the game on their terms. They need to put it on the scoreboard, though, against a great team like Port Adelaide. Turner takes the aggressive kick to open up the forward 50. Marty Hall has a couple of options, as you can see at the top of the screen. That's a dangerous one. It's going to come back.
Back in, back round.
It's Francis Evans.
All the way, climb back on, stand.
Bergman to half forward. Horn Francis over the top. Howes takes him down. Ball spills out. Socket off the ground on the full of Billings.
Free kick. Way of trap boats. Horn Francis gets up. A little worse for wear. Pretty well here, Melbourne, to get their defence set up after the turnover in the middle of the ground. Radaglia, a little quick handball. Butters. A little backed him from there. 99 out of 100. And a little wide smile from Zach to get that one online.
Well, let-offs at both ends, really. It's a couple of good looks. Melbourne just need to hang tight here. You just feel the ease in which Port are scoring is going to be the issue. Melbourne, if they can pinch one here, take it end-to-end, they'd obviously love that. But it's these contested marks. Now you need to find the next one. You've got to wait for your side to catch up and rely on a good contest once again long down the line.
A good, honest contest from Petty. Playing his role as the link man. Van Rooyen's the next link. Created the crumb for Oliver. Chandler receives it back from Langdon. Hoists it high. Horn Francis stands underneath it, takes the grab. Stan.
Had a big first half, Jason Horn Francis. A couple of goals. I suppose number 11 that was. Let's get down to Lingy. What are you seeing down there, Lingy?
Well, just with Todd Marshall, the update from him is we're told from the club that he's undergoing a SCAT test. So that's him 15 minutes on the bench now. So we won't see him again this quarter. So obviously in that marking contest, must have copped a knock to the head. We'll know more after half-time.
Significant factor in the game with Mitch Georgiades out this week, the leading goal kicker. Chance here for Port Adelaide. Jordan Sweet did well, and then surrounded by demons. Van Rooyen spirals it out of defence. Turner's attack on the footy's been impressive. Picked off though by Jones. Cosing! He came like a thief in the night.
Stand.
And just brilliant speed. Bergman didn't know what had snuck up on him, and now the D's can reload again and through the hands of Billings.
Surges towards half forward. Fritsch will set himself. Well done, Houston, to get it to the line.
Another concern down here for Port Adelaide. Zach Butters, terrific effort to get back and contest that mark. Just the way he landed, hurt his knee a little bit, but he's waved away the medical staff at Port, so hopefully okay for the power, Zach Butters.
7 touches for Connor Rosie so far, averaging 24 a game. Hasn't quite had his usual influence as yet. Gorn. There is Rosie right on cue. Sockers it towards Radaglia, who loses his feet. Out comes Dixon. McPhee crunched by Saba. Stand. It's up understandably sore, really holding that right shoulder and elbow. There's another to look at as Lever goes towards Van Rooyen, creates a contest, front and centre. Horn Francis Burn Jones, Rioli is tracking back towards Mark, but the goal square rather. Claw loses his feet. Rioli now with 20 metres, can gather, set up, snap, and miss. Jackson Mi throws his hands in the air at the top of the square. Willie didn't see it.
It was a lucky let off there. Marty Hall slipped. Rioli with an unpressured shot at goal. What I did like was the ball movement from Melbourne, though. The little bit of candy from Lever through the middle. I liked that bit of dare and the boldness.
Tomlinson down the line for Van Rooyen. Burn Jones ran into Oliver. 50-50 ball to be won. It's going to go the way of the power. And Farrell just with that driving left foot kick. Dixon, front and centre opportunity. Butters always dangerous. Lever clever. Kept it in a confined space. Chandler tried to shovel it through. Eventually gets it to Sparrow. Little handball's okay from Howes. Viney's kick. Ricochets back into the corridor. Max Gorn. Brilliant tackle.
Just another little worry down here for Port Adelaide. Logan Evans just came off sore there, sore lower leg. Medical staff has spent a bit of time with him, so some really sore players for the Port in this first half.
This league, can Melbourne capitalise? Sparrow's kick, Van Rooyen worked underneath it. Farrell, Houston sweeps it now to Bergman, takes the short option. It's Horn Francis. It's got Burgoyne, as you can see, to his left. That's where he goes, which then creates the overlap for Bergman, but well done to Pickett. Doesn't quite shut that down.
Back 1 metre! Back 1 metre!
Langdon will stay with Burgoyne to make sure it can't go back. So Bergman will go long. Dixon in the middle of this pack. Worked under it by Tomlinson. Ball spills to the back. D's first there. Howes tries to find Billings. Bustled out of it by Rioli. Kick through the legs of Howes. Wines with strength. Snaps it. Does he get it there? Tomlinson's plucked it in the fingertips.
Yep. What scores a goal?
So the
Score review.
a goal.
Umpire scores a goal. Please confirm it across the line.
Hold of the ball has to be over the back of the line without being touched. So has Tomlinson got a hold of that before the entire ball crosses the line?
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we'd see the ball's controlled before crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Well done, Adam Tomlinson. A game of inches.
The answer certainly was yes. Just those fingertips there. It did well not to fumble it across. Regardless, would have been a better result, obviously, than the goal. But you wonder why the Port players are coming off a bit sore and sorry for themselves. Just the intent in the tackles. They would have laid 11 tackles in this quarter to 4. The want to be in the contest, the want to find a body, hit a body, has been first class.
Really impressive first half performance. The late goal here would be superb. Pickett, couple of bounces, backed his leg speed in. The kick under pressure, picked up nicely by Van Rooyen into the part of the Bailey Fritsch. Overran a Pickett again. Daisy talking about the pressure in Melbourne. You can just see the appetite for it here. They are fighting super hard. Wines got through the Oliver tackle. Petty launches at it. Did well to keep it in his own path, Harrison Petty. Into the path of John McVie now. Got good connection with the strike. But Zirk Thatcher in the right spot at the right time.
Port just need to be tidy with 20 seconds left in the half. Burgoyne. Petty again. Can he get it back in? Won't have time.
Port Adelaide by 1 point at quarter time at the main change. Melbourne have it by 3 points. We've certainly got a game on our hands here, and you can see there's a little bit in this one. Ali and Maxi Gorn having something to say at the main change as I welcome Nick Dalstan, 80 Bets and Jack Rewald. First thoughts? I said it was pretty tight, a point and now 3, and Melbourne have got the ascendancy.
It hasn't been the most open game and clearly the most free-flowing in regards to scoreboard pressure from either side, but it's been intriguing because there's been an arm wrestle. I think the game has been controlled mostly in the front half of the Ds, but by saying that, Port's done a really good job to take their opportunities when they presented. It doesn't feel like there's been as many But by saying that as well, 3-point margin, it hasn't been a ripper.
It started a bit slow. It was a bit sloppy and a bit slow. And a couple of players have stood out and had their moments, which we'll touch on in a minute with Jason Francis and Cosy Pickett.
And you said, Jack, quarter time, the tackles inside 50 were heavily weighted one way, and it's gone even further.
Yeah, well, Port managed to get one, so there's a start, I suppose. But 12 to 1. So what it does create is it creates back half chain chances for Port Adelaide, and they've had 26 of them so far. So that's taken from their D50. That's the opportunities they've had to take it out, and only scored one goal from that, and that was that kick in that we saw at quarter time. So at the moment, Melbourne are dominating forward half intercepts, which is what they've based their game on as well. But Port Adelaide are very good at holding the stopping you from when you take it inside 50 to score. It's the thing they've improved over the last 6 weeks under Ken. So at the moment, Melbourne just can't get it through that Port Adelaide defence to get the value of the scoreboard.
Yeah, the plus 11 forward half intercepts is a massive number. Let's take a look at our first half highlights. Thanks to Telstra. Cosy Pickett, no surprise, 2 goals, Eddie, and 13 disposals. He's been a live wire up there.
Yeah, it is. And he started in the centre bounce at the first bounce, at the first clearance, and the 13 disposals, 2 goals. And we were watching him around the ground, and no one was going to him. Burton was the one that was going to him early. He's getting up the ground, racing his forward back. His pressure's been elite. Just in that second quarter, you see him chase down here, and this is just a little lucky one where you don't want to give any chance to Cosy.
Perceived pressure there as well.
Exactly.
You could sit off and potentially you could rush it through, but he's so damaging that. There's a reason why they play him at every centre bounce. They send him in there because he's the most dynamic player that Melbourne have got, especially now that they don't have Petrarca as well, the value that Cosy has for them. But he's leading the way with those tackles inside 50 at the moment. They just want to get value from wherever you're putting him.
It's the threat that he could cause. I know he's had a fantastic first half, and probably the best first half he's had for weeks, it feels like, because he's been a little bit unders on what he's capable of, but it's just the threat of what he could do to you. So I love the centre square bounce stuff, but now we're seeing him drip feed forward and hit the scoreboard. So they need that again. They need that again from him in the second half.
As Jack said, the perceived pressure, if you start well like that and you're a Port defender, every time the ball comes in there, you're thinking, where's Cosy?
Yeah.
Where's Cosy? I don't want to be one-on-one with him.
And what do you think in terms of the Melbourne forward line? Like, they've just struggled all year, haven't they, to find the right mix? Like, they've thrown them around. They don't have Petrarca who can go forward anymore. So, like, Cosy's jumping up tonight, but that's sort of where they're at in terms of the footy club.
Yeah, look, I think probably the only mainstay for that forward line's been Bailey Fritsch. They've sort of been trying to find the puzzle of their forward group and what it looks like going forward. Petty's played there. We also know that Ben Brown has been in and out this year and hasn't secured the spot.
Turner's done some nice stuff. He's had a couple of good grabs, a couple of good moments tonight as well.
So I think for them, that they just need to continue. Like, you're in trial mode now. So for the next 3 weeks, try and figure out what it looks like.
Yep, what it looks like. And Jason Horne-Francis, I'll tell you what that looks like. He's had 13 and hit the scoreboard once again last week. He was incredible, 27 and kicked a couple of goals. But once he runs a straight line down, get off the track when the train's coming through.
Well, we just complimented Cosy Pickett for his midfield work and then his craft and ability to go forward. Well, that's exactly what Jason Horne-Francis can do. But he does it in a different way. He's more of a genuine, can come out of the goal square. Like, I know that's against Clayton Oliver, and they've been picking on Clayton Oliver. Whoever's on him takes him to the goal square, puts him in the deep water, and exposes him. But he plays as a genuine forward. He reminds me a little bit of a Mark Rashudo. That he's just a bull in the midfield. We're going back a few years here, guys.
A bit quicker than Mark Rashudo.
But then just goes for the goal square. Actually, look at the acceleration and the power to come out of the goal square. We know how delightful he is by foot, left or right foot. So he's a weapon and a threat no matter where he plays.
He's like a Dangerfield. I always said when he came in, he's like a Dangerfield, but a bit more touch and a bit more skillful than what Paddy has by foot.
Yeah, and that's his last 6 weeks there. So there was a moment probably about 5 weeks ago where they played they played the Suns, and he had a shocker early on and gave away a couple of fitties, and he sat next to Ken Hinkley on the bench. He actually got dragged, which doesn't happen very much these days, Dicko. He got dragged. And I think this is about him owning playing forward, because he was filthy that day that he was playing forward.
Good point.
He wants to be in the middle, but as soon as you grab onto something and put ownership and put a sense of connection into it, and maybe it's his teammates telling him, hey, we need you. So they weren't on the premiership radar 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it's little things like that that just chip away at being a good team.
It's a great point you make about owning it forward. I ran into Ken at the airport and I said, he's crazy. He goes, no. He's crazy good in terms of his head. He gets out there and his eyes are rolling. Like there was
a shot of him, Ken talking to him, and he didn't even bat an eyelid and look at Ken. He just went straight down the barrel. So any coach is talking to him I'm like, yes, yep, no worries, sir. Yeah, no worries. But he was just, you could see that he was in the zone.
He should have that mindset when he goes forward, though. Like, if I go forward, I'm going to take on it. Whoever comes to me, I'm going to take on it.
It's what you place value in. Yep. So a lot of young kids come into footy that are good midfielders that place value in having 30 touches. Yeah. But the value of, well, not specifically goals, but being involved in scores. Now, that can be through defensive actions or offensive actions. There is so much that, and that's his role in the team at the moment.
And speaking of roles, Christian Salem comes in, gets 15 disposals and a half footy down.
Well, we know how well he can distribute the football. It's been a missing piece, is that ability to win the ball off turnover and then maintain possession, keep it for as uncontested for as long as you can. So he's slotted straight back in tonight. I think it's been sloppy at times, the disposals by both teams, but Christian Salem usually uses the ball really well. So they've needed him and missed him at different stages.
Yeah, had a stellar first half. All right, time to take a break. 3 games on your Sunday ticket. Time now to get an update. Thanks to Sportsbet.
The game of the round is the Blues up against the Hawks. Can't wait to watch this one. And if you're a Hawthorn...
There we go, folks. Half time at the G. It's Melbourne 4-5. 29 leading Port Adelaide 3-8 26. I think Melbourne's definitely... I think that Melbourne definitely the better team at the moment. As they said, Melbourne well in control, but they're just struggling to find their target going inside 50. So I was saying Port Adelaide defending that well, and even when Port Adelaide get it in their forward 50, Melbourne are defending that quite well. Addy G says, "Come on, Melbourne and Gold Coast need to help Freo out for Addy G." That's right, I certainly do. Arlo Minatello, how you going, Squire? How you going? Welcome in. Yeah, Brisbane didn't go too well today, but that's okay. That's okay. G'day, Adrian from Ryan. Chris Brown. What's going on, Squire? Larry the Drone, how you going? What's happening? Was just at the Geelong versus Fremantle game, watching it at Optus, and boy, what a game! And how happy am I that Geelong won? I tell you what, it was a great game. What a great game! Yeah, I watched that game here as well. And I tell you what, I think Fremantle certainly gave Geelong a scare. Fremantle had plenty of opportunities in that game to go ahead and take that victory. But, Geelong, the experience of Geelong just held up well. And I think Paddy Dangerfield was instrumental in that final quarter, getting the Cats over the line. It was a good game. It was a close game. And I think, everyone will be celebrating down in Geelong shortly if they end up the top 2, get a home final down there, and they might be able to go a long way into the finals. We're up for a great series of finals when it comes around. All teams in for a chance. No matter what team you are in the top 8, I think you've got a chance this year because they are all going well. Just looking at the top 8, and of course, there we go, Larry. Geelong Cats, they're up to 3rd at the moment. And of course, with this live ladder, Port Adelaide will remain on 52 if they don't win. But if they do win, they'll go up to 56. They'll actually go up into 2nd spot if they can win tonight, Port Adelaide. There we go. And then Geelong will be down to 4. So it's going to be interesting the next couple of weeks. Fremantle's there, so that's what Addy G's saying. He wants Melbourne to win, just to hold Port Adelaide there, and hopefully next week, all going well, they can leapfrog back into the top 4. But, as I said, as long as you get a home final, even if you're 5th or 6th, I think you still get that first home final. It's just that you don't get that second chance. Sometimes if you're in the top 4, you do win that first week. Sometimes it can't always be to your benefit because you have the week off, I believe, after the last round of the home and away. And then if you win that first week, then you get another week off. So you're not getting a great deal of footy being played for your team. So I don't know whether that's always a good idea. Just looking at that other game over there, it's half-time between Essendon and the Gold Coast Suns at Marvel Stadium here in Melbourne, and it's Essendon leading the Suns 9-4, 58 to the Suns 7-5, 47. So it's another close match over there. Both games in Melbourne, one at the MCG, one at Marvel, just down the road from each other, just 2 to 3 kilometres away from each other. We've got 3 points at the MCG, the difference, and 11 points there at Marvel Stadium. Just as well, it's a nice evening here in Melbourne. It's 8 degrees, so the MCG, no rain. And of course at the Marvel Stadium, they've got the roof closed there. So both will be happy. Both will be happy. Both enjoying the footy. I will say this though, the crowd at this game we're following now, Melbourne Port Adelaide, it's a small crowd. I think, you know, there could only be 20, 25,000 there. I'm not sure. If they will say the crowd numbers, that'll be interesting to actually see. But to see a crowd of only, say, 20,000 at the MCG, it looks pretty empty to me, which is unusual to see at the MCG. But, you know, we're in for a pretty good second half coming up, not too far away. Both teams playing reasonably good football. Port Adelaide yet to put on the superiority of the way they've been playing and why they're in the top 8. Melbourne certainly on top at the moment in this first half. Melbourne in the first quarter, of course, kicking 2 goals 3 to Port Adelaide's 2 goals 4. And in that second quarter, Melbourne just put on 2 goals 2 and Port Adelaide 1 goal 4, missing their opportunities. Low scoring game here at the MCG. It's a hard fought battle. There is one player there. Let me have a look at this player, and I just wanted to comment on this player here. Where is he? Just wanted to find him for Melbourne, because I think this player is one of Melbourne's normal guns, midfielder. And I think this player really needs to go back to the seconds. Clayton Oliver. This is a player here. I think he needs to go back to the seconds for Melbourne, maybe for the rest of the year. Try and pick up a bit of form. Five disposals, 1 kick, 4 handballs. Been in the midfield. I think they've tried to throw him down. I think they tried to throw him down back. It's not working. It just doesn't look like he puts in the effort. This player here, Clayton Oliver. I really think for the Melbourne supporters, they need to get him back into the reserves, drop him down from the seniors. Go back, get a little bit of form, get a little bit of touch, get a little bit of hunger to be wanting to be back in the senior side of this Melbourne side. That's what I think there. Other games that happened today, of course, we had, well, the results so far this round, we had last night, we had Sydney snatching defeat from the hands of Collingwood. There we go. Sydney won last night by 3 points, 89 to 86. We had the next game there today. We had the Brisbane Lions versus the GWS Giants up in Brisbane. And of course, the GWS Giants won that game 82 to 64. We had another game this afternoon. North Melbourne played the West Coast Eagles over here in, I think that was Tasmania. And of course, the West Coast Eagles ran out victors by 5 points. Snaring a late win there, 102 to 97. And of course, poor old Freo couldn't quite hang on over there in Perth today, where Geelong won that match 73 points to Fremantle 62. And of course, we've got this match on now, and the match at the MCG, Essendon and the Suns, and the game we're following, Melbourne and Port Adelaide. Still 3 more games to go for this round. That's all coming up tomorrow, folks. Stay tuned for that, but unfortunately I don't think I'll be able to cover any tomorrow, as I've got some appointments I've got to be at, so I won't be here tomorrow. So after this game, it'll be next week when I'm back covering the football again. So we're only about 4 minutes away from the bounce of the third quarter, and we'll be back then to bring you the live action.
plus performance of the first half, and Cozzy Pickett, no surprise, 2 goals, and he's been
What's par now for goals?
I think feels
Five to six. What would you be thinking with 2 at half time?
I'd be eyeing off 6.
6 is a bonus. 6 is a bonus.
How many times? 4 times. Okay. You kicked 6 28 times.
Bit more than that.
38, 48. How many you kicked in a half? Most you kicked in a half.
7.
Footy. And what did you end up with?
11.
Oh, Slurpee, 7-11. It is time now. It is Saturday, and the invite to the barbecue of Eddie Betts.
Here we go.
I'll grab the barbie.
He got carried away last time. The barbie wasn't big enough, and he needed lamb chops in it.
We had to get the big one. So
Now, Eddie,
I'm taking.
Can I get one on there early?
No.
This is for the breakdancing team. That
Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Port Forwards. I mean, we think about Melbourne. We think about Melbourne and their tackles inside 50. They've had 12. Port's only had 1. And so this big steak goes to Charlie Dixon.
He's cooking the big fella.
We got little Willie here, so he's got 0 tackles.
Willie says slice of bacon.
He's got 0. But they want to win this game. This is where you play the grand final. And if they're in for finals chance, they have to lift their game, bring the pressure, and get some more. Like, so little Willie, nothing bacon for you, brother. You get some tackles.
It's normally the stuff we do at 10 o'clock. Eddie Betts' barbecue Saturday night.
Through this week, hasn't it?
Oh, and Charlie's not happy he's on the barbecue tonight. So it's going to be a focus, no doubt, as we straighten up, because the forwards at either end, you just mentioned Cozzy's dominated.
They'd want more opportunity as well, though, from Port Adelaide's point of view. Like, at the moment, Melbourne are dominating. Inside 50 is relatively similar, but it's on the Port mids as well to get it in there.
Yep, it's been tight at every change, but it is Melbourne by 3 points as we head into the third quarter.
Really impressive first half from the Demons. Can they sustain it in the second half? A lot riding on it. Drew spinning out and then almost threw it out. Finally got them going early. Campbell that you really would love to have had back, but McPhee's got back and won it again, and brilliantly done to Billings. Campbell looking for Chandler. Can he pick it up and step around a tackler? Houston pin the arm and could be rewarded for it. He will be.
Just quickly, Todd Marshall in the second quarter had that issue there. He's now been subbed out of the game for concussion. So Quinton Narkle is in, starting on the ground in this third quarter. He's had concussion issues in the past, Todd Marshall, so not good at all.
There is Narkle right on cue, Lingy taking the ground. So Melbourne have got the game they wanted. It's low scoring. They're ranked 7th for defence and 14th for attack. So to win this game, they need to hold Port Adelaide, you'd think, and they've done it for a half so far. Rivers to Neil Bullen. Bergman, good tackle on Turner. Neil Bullen bounces it forward over the head of Farrell. The dangerous pick at the back, a fumble. May get another opportunity. He's got Burn Jones to deal with. Turner rips it out. Gives it to Viney, who's wrapped up by Drew and Burn Jones.
Another big number to keep watch as this game goes on is the clearance battle. The only time in the last month Port Adelaide have lost the clearance battle was to the Gold Coast Suns, also resulted in their only loss in that last month.
Butters kick. Lever did a great job of making it a contest there. Rosie hacks it forward. Pick up from Dixon was good. To Evans. Looking for Horn Francis, who's looked devastating on that lead. Marty Horn did well, not to give away a free kick on that occasion. Salem kept his feet initially, and then might have an issue if he's dragged it back in with umpiring. Great position. Good explanation.
I like that matchup, Doug McVie and Zach Butters. Whether that continues, it's nice to see him getting a run through the midfield for the D's.
Goodwin won the hit out down and opens a path for Harry Petty, and he found more space than you probably thought, and that will work to Cozzy Pickett. The transition from halfback into forward 50. Great stuff from Melbourne.
And it's good to see a little bit of easier ball movement. They've worked so hard, they've scrapped so often. Just the responsibility now falls on the shoulders of a very skillful player. Certainly got this in his wheelhouse. You see him go through his routine. Now's the time to execute.
Kicked his career best 6 goals against Port Adelaide, Cozzy. Side he matches up well against. Got a couple of goals in the second quarter, and that is goal number 3 for Cozzy. Pretty happy with it too. There's Cozzy Pickett. Perfect start for Melbourne in the second half. They played the game on their terms for the majority of this match so far, and on track for some sort of an upset.
Well, it starts with a spreading kick there from Alex Neil-Bullock. It was a touch sore, knee on knee, but this was the kick. Petty, the wheel, but just to advantage, out the back, work rate sublime from all the Melbourne players. And then the responsibility, didn't quite flush it, in step, little bit of left to right, but good enough, the finger goes up. That's Cozzy, and he's kicked the last 3 goals of this match.
Well, Francis tried to control it, goes again. Strong over the football was Mead, and Oliver grabs him up.
Thanks, Jordan. Thank you. Max, Jordan.
He's plus 22 for contested possessions, as you can see. Sweep to Rosie. His 11th touch, averaging 24 a game. Lever to the line. Daisy mentioned the importance of the clearance count for Port Adelaide. Well, in 17 of their 20 games this year, when they've won scores from clearance, they've won the game. It's been the correlating stat, 8 of the last 9 weeks, and right now, it's Melbourne 2-2 from clearance, Port Adelaide 3 behinds.
Gordon guides it down. The kick ricochet back off Jackson Mead. Will be another bout of throw-in. Slightly an attack for Port Adelaide, but we haven't seen them get a lot of their run and flow game going at all so far in this match.
And a lot of it from the stoppage and the contest here is because of the dominance of Max Gawn, taking front position, giving his midfielders first access, but also at times just belting the ball out of the area.
Here he is again with Jordan Sweet. Nil will draw that one. Drew flung a boot at it. Jordan Sweet picked that one up nicely, and that was clever handball to me, but again, attacking pressure has been a real factor for Melbourne. Free kick goes away at home, Francis. He spears the pass, beautiful kick. A-grade performance from Horn Francis as Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, a little bit off the ball there. Jordan Sweet involved with that one. Just gave it to Clayton Oliver. They've been pushing and shoving for quite a bit. Oliver still down off the ball.
Thanks, fellas. Right here. Don't give it away.
Struggling to breathe. And Melbourne players not happy at all. Straight over to Sweet.
Doesn't appear to be a huge amount in it, Lingy on the replay, but he's still in the hands of the trainers. Clayton Oliver, Ranagalea. Cute angle, never looked like it was online, and no score registered.
Reluctant to say it, but chance it got him in the sweet spot.
Thank you, Daisy.
Were you reluctant to say it?
We had to.
Maxwell to the outer side. Sweet over the top. Bergman smothered off his boot by Turner. Petty couldn't control it. Pickett does towards the wing. Coming out to meet it was Fritsch. Got the hands free. Houston versus Pickett. And in comes Sparrow to stand him up.
Jordan, Max, clear the area.
In the tap, Oliver the target. Wanted quick hands to Rivers. Handball partly smothered. Drew couldn't find it on the ground. Oliver, fired up by that last incident, goes at it again. Burgoyne tapped it. Rosie runs away from Langdon. Good lunge from Ed, umpire. Says a block off the ball. Melbourne free kick.
Thank you.
Tip is fraying a little bit, and rightly so. High stakes, particularly for Port Adelaide. We've seen the live ladder. Look at the weekend, a game off top spot, but a game off 8th, and Burn Jones cuts it off 52 from goal. Little tick lead from Dixon was great.
They're the ones that are going to hurt the D's when you're open field, easy execution. Put it further out in front, open space, but he gives Burn Jones a look. and then the quality of him to execute on the way back in, they're the ones that sting.
Kicker and leader on the same page. Charlie Dixon. Squeezes it inside the right post, and we've got ourselves a 3-point game. Goal apiece in the third term. And this arm wrestle continues. Melbourne got out to a double-digit lead late in the opening term. Port Adelaide have led by 9 points.
You can see Adam Tomlinson just breaking to the left of screen there. That was the one. That's the easier kick, and that's the kick you had to take. That was the one that was on, and then sold in the wound. Your direct opponent is the one that goes back and kicks the goal. But you need to play the percentages out of your back lines. Stay within the tram tracks of your own ability. Tom McDonald, take the easy option. Take it to Tomlinson.
Can the power build something on the back of that? Sparrow. Well done, Max Gorn again, the physical presence.
Limited contact. Limited contact, you're free. No, straight into his back. No, here. It's here. It's here. In dead ball. You can't go like that. Be very careful. Yeah, no, that's all right. Your free kick. Thank you. Come back on stage.
That's quality.
Good exchange between the umpire and Will and Drew, who was nonplussed, you'd have to say, about that free kick. Just fell short, the Oliver kick, and Max puts his arms up. Wanted some more elevation in it. Power, get it back through Ollie Wines.
Clary drew that free kick. Evans. Zach Thatcher. Long of the wing. Rosie.
Outside 5.
Butters, rather. Butters has had 16. Rosie's had 12. Two of their prime movers is Bergman. Back to Butters. Spears at the 50. Burne-Jones has got good position here. Das mentioned earlier just how effective he's been, repurposed as a forward. So industrious, gets to good spots.
I've just seen their wander out the back. The D's going to sleep, not thinking that handball was going to go boundary side. That was the difference, just the concentration. These are the moments, those lapses. The longer this game goes, the more they're going to hurt.
He's got 23 for the season, which is a personal best. This to regain the lead. Kick on its way. Just floating across the face. Still there. Gone again. Working superbly as a defensive ruckman tonight.
That's the third time tonight on the line he saved them. It's just a mammoth effort. Such reliance on him still.
Kicks in the Petty direction. Will handle over the top from Butters. Neil Bullen tracking it. Still on the free kick.
Darcy, you're the ruckman amongst us. How hard is it to get back there physically when required, but also then to take the mark, beat your opponent and take the mark on that last line?
This is what you love. You just see right on the screen, Max Gorn, the amount of physical effort to get all the way back to the last line. And then he's getting involved in the link-up play forward. So just the sheer work rate of Max Gorn and then the ability to take that mark under pressure. That's a brilliant ball. Pettingley got hold of it. There's Alier, spins out of trouble. Port Adelaide building through Farrell. Delayed handball to Butters. Something good normally happens when Zach Butters has got it. Puts it out. Shane Warne stands side. Rosie, just feel like Port Adelaide are building here. Stand. Maintaining possession a bit easier than that in the first half. And this is Quentin Narkle, the sub who's come onto the ground if you've just joined us. It was Todd Marshall subbed out. Concussion issue over the head of Sweet. Rivers charging through. Butters, he started half back with a smothering effort. Another goal saver from the D's.
Alex Neil Bullen.
Jordan, Jacob.
Adelaide controlling the tempo early in this third term. 13 marks to 5 for the quarter. And they're pressing again here as they search for the lead. Sweep versus Van Rooyen. Slaps it out. Butters. Pressured by Rivers. Rosie. Floats a kick. Lever in best position. He's got a couple of runners breaking to the southern side. The first one is Tomlinson and the second one is Langdon. He's got Pickett versus Jones long down the line, as you can see right of screen. They're isolated. Draws the man, gives it to Salem. Fitch tries to work on Birdman, who is strong in the body. Jones, Burgoyne. Some overlap here now for Port. Houston under pressure. Burgoyne floats to half forward. Lever sets up. Can't take the grab. Gets to the back. McDonald taken down. Ball spills out. Rosie goes off the deck. Inside 50. Boundary line. Toe pokes it back inside. Butters. Narkle. Rioli, Chandler and Boak all arrive. Rioli goes hunting. Tolstrup gets it to the line.
The scrapping defence of Melbourne here, you've got to admire just the sheer will to get back and just find a way. Port Adelaide asking every question of them at the minute, but just through sheer will, commitment, determination, they're coming up with every answer.
Short rest for Max Gawn. They don't allow Van Rooyen to take this one against Sweet. Max has pushed forward. Howes managed to pick a pocket there, but they couldn't clear defence. Rioli and Chandler held up.
There are alarm bells though. How much longer can they hold on? That's the sense. 70% time in forward half, as you would have seen before.
Just seen more of Butters, more of Rosie. There's Lever again. As Nate Jones is pointing out, they are under siege, but there's a nice little pressure valve to Lever.
Up to the next umpire.
Understated how important that is sometimes. You can just feel the pressure building, and now,
yeah, particularly when you're locked so deep in your defensive half or defensive 50 in Melbourne's case, not being able to get out of there. Those backs, it's repeat effort after repeat effort, trying to defend and then having to also attack to carry the footy out. There's no time for rest.
Just the experience of some of the Melbourne gun players there, just taking some time. Now they win an important 50-50. Sparrow sold it to Rivers under some heat, but they found a way through miraculously to Alex Neil-Bullen, and this will be a huge opportunity against the flow of play.
I love the flow of ball movement though. I felt Rivers finally driving his legs, Sparrow driving his legs out of the contest to find Rivers, and then his ability to just break a line, a little bit of composure to drop that kick in. But that flow of footy from the D's, the boldness, been able to notice that all night. Hopefully some reward here.
8 goals, 5 for the year, and Alex Neil-Bullen loved it off the boot. Huge moment in the game. Stacey and Nate Jones were pointing out it was just all one way, time in forward half, more than 70% for Port Adelaide, and the nibbler, Alex Neil-Bullen, strikes at an important time. Well, we're back out to 9 points.
Well, just the want from Viney to get through. It wasn't perfect by any stretch, his passage of play. Rivers took a chance, just got a kick away. But by taking the game on, things just happen. You find players in pockets of space that you normally wouldn't. And on that occasion, it was over to Neil-Bullen to finish. And good enough for this to do so.
Horn versus Dixon. Through comes Horn Francis. Into the path of Boak. He's got a metre or two on Langdon. Gets a shepherd from Burn Jones. Beautiful delivery to Radigalea.
Up to you. Yep. Thank you. Stand. Yep. That's right.
Have to be high alert here if you're a Melbourne defender.
Attacks the square. McDonald in good position.
And that's more like it. Just the simple thing executed well there. Got to a good spot, McDonald. Clear the area, go back, defend your man. Now rely on the midfielders to do their job.
Horn and Dixon Ball slaps it away from goal. Tolstrup pops it over the top. He's looking for Sparrow and has to go himself.
You take it.
And the D's have got some holes and some deficiencies and some injuries that have caused trouble, but there's one thing they're still exceptional at, and that's absorbing pressure deep in defence. It's been their strong suit right through this great era, and they're doing it again tonight so far.
Port Adelaide, they're just 32 points so far. Holding on again, Max gone. Sparrow fisted it down, boat. Had some really impressive moments tonight, Rosie. High, up and under, gone back there. Radaglia flying for it. Clearing kick will work okay for Melbourne. Evans got back. Bergman under some pressure. Van Rooyen did well. Jones trying to muscle his way through. Picked up by Zirk Thatcher. Here's Boak again. His foot skills have been outstanding. And Horn Francis not without a sneaky chance.
Yeah, I think he's certainly got this in the kit bag. Couple of quick steps out to the right lane. We've seen him. It's a short career, but he's been able to provide big moments. And this from beyond the arc, isn't beyond here?
Aiming for an equal career high 3 goals, Jason Horn-Francis. Such a power athlete. He's decided against it. Had a look at the set-up kick, but Sparrow awake to it.
Quick release to Chandler, gets it to defensive 50. He's got Salem cruising by. And the next one down the line's Billings. So Melbourne have worked it to the wing. Rivers provides the overlap down the line, but well done, Evans came across to shut that down. So Billings, the hit-up target, good kick to Viney, then the run flows through from McPhee. Flat kick inside 50. Van Rooyen, little give. Pickett gathers, snaps goalward. Port have got it covered. Great defensive running again from Boak to get to position.
Stand.
Goes short to Houston. And this chess game continues. Just over 6 minutes to play in the third. Houston punches the kick. Narkle flies over the top of Hall. Handball partly smothered by Rioli. Narkle can't control it and it's out. So Lingy, from a coaching perspective, where do you think both coaches are at right now in terms of their level of contentment?
Well, I think that man right there, very frustrated with the fact that he can't get any flow going in the game. There's just little mistakes. Melbourne are getting a hand in. Simon Goodwin's got to be happy with the endeavour, of course. That frontal pressure, the contested ball work, but he also knows how dangerous this type of play can be for Port.
This is them at their explosive best. Butters took a couple of bounces in a matter of 3 or 4 steps, and there's some individual brilliance from Zach Butters. We've got a couple of Ferraris in the shed. They can explode, and Butters is absolutely that. He enjoyed every bit of that opportunity with some speed. Hard player to keep contained. He's got a smile on his face. Just asking Clayton where he might have been at that last stoppage.
Or where he went.
Just the turn of speed, Days. See Clayton having to chase there, but he just ran away from him, just turned the jets on and geared up. But then his ability to just settle, take a couple of steps, doesn't overkick the footy, beautifully executed. That's why he's one of the best players in the competition right there.
Clips of brilliance from Port Adelaide. They're back within 3 points. On Francis against Finey. Coming in off the square hard was McPhee. Drew to Horn Francis. Floats a kick inside 50 on Marty Hall. Important moments here for Melbourne. We know that Port have been pressing. They've had the better of this third term. Melbourne in the main have been able to turn them around. Hall goes towards Van Rooyen. Aliir flies over the top and belts them to the line.
And that good play in this third quarter has been on the back of the contest. You guys have spent a lot of the game talking about the contested possessions. Melbourne were plus 21 in the first half. In this quarter, they're only plus 2. I know it's still an advantage to Melbourne, but the fact that Port Adelaide have dragged that back a lot closer means they're able to get their game kick-started a little bit more.
Back row there was Christian Petrarca. Great to see him back at the footy tonight. He's had a horror run. A really challenging injury battle, but he's healthy and back here tonight. We'll be enjoying the way his team are fighting hard. Evans up and under kick, Max Gorn. Evans tried the impossible. Max was able to stare that down. Short one's okay to Sparrow.
Stay out.
Moving again patiently, happy to maintain possession. That's sideways kick to McDonald. Going to build this one up from half back. Some composure at the side, step to Oliver. Worked it just to the defensive side of the square, Melbourne. You can just see Port Adelaide. They have funneled everyone back. Real up and under kick from Oliver. Not a great ball at all. And easily picked off by Dan Houston.
The only positive is now that they are going back Port Adelaide through every Melbourne player. The slow ball should means that they have Port Adelaide covered off, which somehow they do not.
As Farrell hits a bullet to Evans.
Stand.
And then Boak. Evans cruises by, but he's covered by Tolstrup. Now pushes up and gets the kick.
Keep coming out, lads.
This is Logan Evans. Goes to 50. And Galea at the front. Dawn back there again, providing support. Couldn't bring it down. Winds to Drew. To the pocket. Francis Evans just escapes his grasp.
They got away with one there, the D's. That kick just a little bit wide, but how quickly Port popped from that contested situation. Had two out over the top. Little red flag there.
So the D's yet to activate their sub, Jake Melcham. Put Nartle in the game at half-time for Todd Marshall, who's out with concussion. Gorn to McPhee. Over the head of Zirk Thatcher, who controls it well on the ground, then uses Jones, but really just sells him into trouble. Finey wraps him up. Watch him.
Yep, thanks, Lucky.
There is the sub, Melksham, yet to be activated. Really fine return coming back from that 12 months out with an ACL, and his huge chance to have an impact. Finey, brilliant. Over the top to Chandler. Next kick, the important one. Couldn't quite get over the top to Petty. Kept his feet nicely, Harry Petty. Running in boat. Been patrolling that wing with great endeavour getting back. Was Willem Drew. Boak again, forced the handball through. Tolstrup fell over. Oh, brilliant Chandler, but Evans had enough composure to slip through the tackle. Marty Hoare has taken a good intercept mark, and they are finding some good wins, Melbourne.
Wonderful to see Marty Hoare back. What a journey it's been for him. Tomlinson. Kick goes wide over the head of Jace Burgoyne. Finey took the contacts. And Burgoyne got into the back of Billings. 70 from goal. Leading Lane into the pocket if he wants to go there, or he could set it up. Instead, we'll go laterally to Tomlinson, who'll continue that switch into the middle of the ground for Hoare. He's got McDonald on the southern wing, trying to just stretch this Port Adelaide defensive zone and find a hole they can exploit. McDonald rather to 50. Langdon taken down by Boak. Horn Francis can't quite escape Petty.
High track for Port Adelaide.
A little bit of offers between Petty and Horn Francis.
Port Adelaide. Let it go. Give me the footy. Jason Horn Francis. Yes.
90 seconds to play in this third term. Port Adelaide scrapping for the lead. Jason Horn Francis with plenty to say to Harry Petty.
The worst result for Port Adelaide. They held it up, and you can see everyone's got back. Max Gorn, the fist is heading in the Langdon direction. Happy to concede back to Tom McDonald. A little nervous kick, sailing brilliant. Oliver's hands are going to work to Langdon. Tumbles it down the line. Petty from behind. Horn Francis couldn't complete the mark. Just a minute now remaining the third term. Alia's kick smothered. Chandler, that'll work to Neil Bullen. Cut back inboard. Kick looking for Van Rooyen. Alia got back, as he so often does, and was able to make sure the mark wasn't conceded. working overtime, Aliir.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Always finds himself in such a good spot. There have been players out, but enough pressure on the footy has meant that his positioning, that proactive positioning, hasn't been exposed.
He's got such an incredible vertical leap too. He can be slightly out of position and still get a hand in. Petty, Van Rooyen smothered off his boot. Still there for the D's. Butters to Boak, stripped to the football. Here's Evans, needed a quick handball. Coming the other way, McPhee, he's taken down. Just under 40 seconds to play. The ball sits 55 from Melbourne's goal. They lead it by 3 points. Sweet, the tap. Houston, now Rosie, time for Port.
Quick kick from Travis Boat to half forward, and free kick going the way of the D's. So there's time to score. Are they likely to press go, Jonesy?
I think they have to be honest. I think they got to get the ball going, get it in motion. The game feels like it's on a knife's edge, really. Like both teams just scrapping, butting heads. Not a lot of free-flowing play, as we've touched on all night. Needs to be some courage and boldness to...
So the three-quarter time siren sounds, just 2 goals apiece this quarter in the third term. Ken Hinkley with a bit to think about. Three-quarter time, Melbourne enjoy a 3-point lead as we go to the final break.
There we go, three-quarter time here. The MCG, Melbourne's clinging on to a 3-point lead. 6-5-41 to 5-8-38 Port Adelaide. Melbourne putting on 2 goals straight in that third term to Port Adelaide, 2 goals straight. There we go, not much scoring happening. It's a real arm wrestle game we've got here at the MCG, and one of the lowest scoring games I've seen in quite some time. Hey, 2 goated, is that right? Who you all got? I don't know, you know what? I think Melbourne might hang on to this game. They've been sort of looking like the better team all night. But, you know, pretty much all the games this round, the teams who have been winning have been coming from behind. So we'll see if that trend continues. All right, let's just have a look at the disposal count. See who the leading ball getters are on the ground in this game, and that's Zach Butters, 26 there for Port Adelaide. Travis Boak on 23. Christian Salen and Neil Bullen are the next best for Melbourne on 20. Dan Houston also 20. Jack Viney, not too bad a game as I stated before. He's up to 19 disposals, 6 kicks, 13 handballs. Jane Horne-Francis, he's a bit of a live wire he is. He's kicked a couple of goals for Port with 18 touches, 16 kicks, 2 handballs. Max Gawn's going good, 17 disposals. He's getting into plenty of the action there. He's at 11, there he is right there. He's at 11 kicks, 6 handballs, 4 marks. He's had 2 tackles, 24 hitouts, 3 clearances. He's having a pretty big game. Maxie Gawn, he's doing rather well. Tom McDonald there with 14. 2 goated, who are you going for in this game, Melbourne or Port Adelaide? And do you follow either one of these sides, or who's your team that you follow? Clayton Oliver there, just 13 touches. He's getting well beaten tonight. He's doing very little, as I said, at halftime. He really needs to head back to the seconds, get a bit of touch back there. As we continue to go down the line, check out and see your favourite players' stats, how they're going. Bailey Fritsch, he's having a bit of a quiet night. He's been well held, 9 disposals. Just 4 kicks for the 1 goal, 1. And there we go. Same with Charlie Dixon down there, the forward man for Port Adelaide. Only the 7 touches, 4 kicks for 1 goal, 1. Let's go up and have a look at the goal scorers. As I said, there's not too many goals being scored this evening in this game, but Kaji Pickett, he's gone all right, hasn't he? 3 goals there for Melbourne. He's the live wire. Horne-Francis with 2. They're the only multiple goal scorers in the match so far. We've got Neil Bullen, a single. Langdon Fritz Dixon, Burn Jones and Butters, they are the only goal scorers. Guys can pick it up to 95 with Maxi Gawn on the fantasy points in this game. Zach Butters 94 and HKE, what's going on? Mega love shout out. What's up? Good evening. What's going on? What's happening? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, we're just doing the footy. Only a minute away until the start of the final quarter here at the MCG. Just around the grounds, what's happening in the other game at the moment. 24-minute mark of the third quarter at Marvel Stadium, and it's the Suns leading 11-9-75 to Essendon 11-4-70. Nearing three-quarter time over there with 7 minutes still to play in the third quarter over there. But the players are back out onto the ground. I just saw you live. We're in the BG. That's right. Thanks for hanging in the BG. Yeah, these are the games where I just have the scoreboard up and I have the commentators commentate the game. So it's not my voice you'll hear commentate the game. It's actually the commentators from what I watch. So they do a lot better job than I do at commentating the game. So I thought, yeah, that's how we do it. And I think it gives a lot of people. It's maybe outside of Australia who still follow the footy. Or can't get to the TV to watch it. Half of these games aren't live anyway, they're on pay TV and stuff like that, so it gives them a chance to listen in and watch. Hey Ryan from HK, what's going on? Tell you what, it's not a bad day, is it? Saturday, 8 degrees here in Melbourne, a little bit chilly. I'm thanking goodness that we're nearly out of winter. What are we at? The 10th of August today. We've only got about 20 odd days or so left until springtime, and then we'll be all cheering. We'll all be able to get out and enjoy the sunshine. Although it was a nice sunny day for a little bit of that period today here, but at least there was no rain. And that makes you smile. All right. We're going to take it back down to the ground and get the commentators as they take us into the last quarter. Can Melbourne hang on with their 3-point lead and take out this match, or can Port Adelaide, who need this win to climb the ladder, come finals time? Who's going to win it, Melbourne or Port Adelaide?
Gone risky, Port Adelaide, but when they have, Melbourne have shut it down and forward half in terms of time. Like, they've just locked it in there with pressure, attitude, and that's what Port Adelaide have got to bring in the last quarter.
It's been workmanlike by the D's. It's been hard work, but it's been very workmanlike. But this is a huge last 30 minutes for Port Adelaide in particular to see where they finish at the end of this season.
All right, well, it's 3 points, as we know, to Melbourne. Let's get to the last quarter and see this one, where it's going to finish.
Sweet the tap. Rosie went off the ground. Pickett tries to explode away. Well done, Rosie. Sweet joined in as well. Just as Cozzy was busting clear, and now Connor does in the opposite direction. Dixon at the front. Massive play, Connor Rosie to start the final term. Daisy just spoke about speed and class and moments in tight games. Well, there was one.
Yeah, that was huge in the midfield there. It looked like Cozzy was half a yard from propelling it inside forward 50. Doesn't happen now, shot on.
To give Port Adelaide the lead. They've got it. Charlie Dixon gets his second. Port Adelaide strike in the opening minute of the final term. And the power back in front and back up into the top four. This was it. The desperation from Rosie to grab Pickett just when he looked like he was about to escape. That set that opportunity up. And Big Charlie imposed himself on that contest. That's the luxury Port have. They have this slick ball movement, but then the ability to dump it in, and those bigs create a contest. Charlie, in that case, big contested mark.
Holding, Melbourne.
all-important centre clearance win. We just saw some individual brilliance from Connor Rosie.
That'll be 50 metres. Willie Rioli moving off the mark, did it really well there. Judd McVee sold it as if he was going to give the ball out to the runner in Salem. Willie Rioli just took a couple of backward steps.
Quinton, clear out. Time back on.
Big moment for Judd McVee, has never kicked an AFL goal. This is his 46th game. There's the target to hit Judd. The quick reply would mean something. He sticks it out to the right, doesn't make the distance. Petty gave a good contest. Sweet tried to take on a bit of the tackle. No prior opportunity.
Here we go.
Get a ball up deep in attack here, Melbourne.
Van Rooyen against Sweet. Sweet got the tap. Neil Bullen got Crum. Threw his boot at it. Petty in the square. Punched away Zerk Thatcher. Through the legs of Van Rooyen. Still there. They slide in. Van Rooyen can't find his boot and they hold him up.
Geez, that fierce spot, Zerk Thatcher, that was an awesome piece of individual defence.
Well done, Sweet again. Lovely tap to Houston. Burgoyne had to wait on the floating handball. Quick whistle ball up.
Thanks, boys. Sorry, buddy. So hold this ball up. Melbourne's end of the grounds allowed Max Gawn behind the footy.
Van Rooyen does the ruck work against Sweet. Langdon taken down by Burgoyne. Port Adelaide have to be so precise here. Any mistake could result in a Melbourne shot at goal, and the lead changes again. Here's Pickett. Not quite, wouldn't sit. Well done, Bergman. Pickett takes him down, and the struggle continues.
Don't knock it on the full, okay? Jordan, Jacob.
Sweet. And Port Adelaide concede.
Dan Houston's looking at. And a short one off from Bergman. Instead, he's going to head out in the direction of Radigalea. Tomlinson from behind. Got a good timely fist in. Ricochet back to Tomlinson. Salem flicked that out. A lot of Port Adelaide numbers there. Rioli with a clever side step to Butters. Brave ball, but a well-executed kick. Radigalea. They've got numbers everywhere. All of a sudden, Port Adelaide. Horn Francis is going to launch from behind. McVee put his body on the line. Burn Jones. Out the back, McDonald. Oh, rare fumble from Lever. This spells danger. Burn Jones body lined it. Good tackle, McDonald. Burgoyne dropped out of his hands. They let it go. McDonald picked it up. Did he drag it under? We're going to throw it up.
Max, Jordan.
Pressure everywhere. Both defences being stretched. Gorm's tap. Tries to release Howes. Salem, can he get the handball away? Tackle is good from Horn Francis. Little give from Butters. Burn Jones across the face. That was slick from Butters. Worth another look. The catch and release from Zach Butters.
We just admire this kick though. Going back, the pull across the body under pressure, back to the corridor. That is incredible, that kick.
Max Gawn, Jordan Sweet. Low-scoring game. There's going to be some crucial moments. Gawn did well, dropped short. The boundary throwing, made sure he didn't give away a free kick. Here is the live ladder, and with their nose in front, Port Adelaide go to second on the table, and the swings are enormous. Huge amount riding on this game. Individual brilliance from Max Gawn. Tried to clear the zone himself. Pickett, he's going to go back through the corridor. Houston leads in the race and took the mark nicely, running back with the flight. They reload again. Travis Boat, disposal number 24 coming up.
It's a driving kick towards Radigalea. Takes it in the hands. That's a great grab. Under pressure from Tomlinson. Will stand 48 metres out from goal and 5 in from the boundary.
He had a look at the other end from a similar spot, pulled the kick there. Looks like he'll do it again.
Sets it up. Dixon will come at it. Fisted away McDonald. Taken Horn Francis. He's tackled by Salem.
He's wearing Horn Francis like a glove in this situation. He looked dangerous every time the ball's gone in there. Big job for Howes.
Howes with the job. Here's Rosie. Paddles to advantage. Off to Jones. Flying shot from Lockie Jones. Right to the line, and Lever sees it through.
Sum up season 2024. 4 weeks ago, Port Adelaide were 9th. Win tonight, and they're 2nd with 2 rounds to go. Melbourne have to win to stay alive. Petty had it fisted away from him. It was picked up nicely by Sparrow. Pickett's going to have to be good to get past Rosie. They let it go. Not sure that he was able to get correct disposal. Brent Jones picks it up. His kick partially smothered. Sparrow picks it up again to Viney. Gone. Judd McVie. Neil Bullen back to McVie. Forward handball, not great. Aliir picks it off. Sweeping handball of his own. Zirk Thatcher on hands and knees. To Drew. Can Port punish him the other way. Burgoyne. Burn Jones has been superb tonight. Inside 50. Port Adelaide go again. Raggedly marking everything at the moment. Couldn't quite pick that one up. And Howes just dumps it out of there. Petty takes it on the chest in front of Aliir. Important mark for Melbourne. Need a little bit of composure. Under pressure in their back half. Goes to a one-on-one. Van Rooyen worked Jones off it. He's got Fritsch working inside 50. Pickett looks most likely from Melbourne. Beautifully done, Bergman. Landed heavily.
Jackson, got a kick.
Howler not happy. Remonstrating with Cozzy Pickett after that. Bergman landing really heavily on his buttock.
And no doubt knocked the stuffing out of him. And good to see Port Adelaide coming across to remonstrate. Really nice delay on game as well for Melbourne there.
Lingy, another tactical twist.
Yeah, Jack Melksham's about to join the game. Now, we've got a couple coming off for Melbourne, Howes and Van Rooyen, both coming off. So maybe Howes is going to be the one subbed off for Jack Melksham, but Melksham is onto the ground. As soon as I know exactly who it is out of the two, it's Van Rooyen, in fact, who's been subbed out. So the Melbourne forward line's going to have a real different look to it.
Max Gore takes it. Brilliant mark. He's going to drive them back inside 50. Van Rooyen, as Lingy just pointed out, subbed out of the game. A little chip pass from Max is perfect to Neil Bullen.
Max, clear out.
I don't mind the sub either. Van Rooyen more the big tall pillar. Melksham is your old school, although he's not the size. He will lead at the footy. Reversal. Cozzy picked it up there.
Let it go, you've got the free kick. You've got the free kick.
That feels like a significant moment in this game. Bullen having a shot to put Melbourne in front, and now Port Adelaide are able to steady through Burgoyne. Comes back through the corridor. Jordan Sweet on his own. He's going to take that mark. Good moment for him, Rosie. Brilliant little side step. One-on-one, McDonald. Dixon fell over. Got back up. Frankie Evans. He was away. McDonald managed to pinch it. And Melbourne breathe a sigh of relief.
Go gadget arms to grab that footy. And for an instant, he had absolutely no idea where it was. Came into his line of vision in just the right split second. Gawn, Langdon, Viney, Sparrow to half forward. Petty engages. Aliir comes over the top, can't complete the grab. Creates a crumb. Chandler run down. Brilliantly done, Houston. Huge tackle from Houston.
Release the ball. Escape.
So here's the reversal. Keep an eye on Pickett.
Get it back.
Your thoughts, gentlemen?
Looked like he may have gone high. Not a whole lot in it, but you've got the ball 50 metres out. He's been brilliant on the night too, Pickett, so no doubt he'll be trying to win another one back. Just feels at the moment Port Adelaide coming up big in these big moments.
Reversal costing Neil Bullen a chance to put Melbourne in front. Radagalaia almost. Billings. High kick. Aliir will sit underneath this. Dirk Thatcher spoiled it. Viney puts it into the path of Pickett and Butters. And Pickett, a goal! Melbourne lead again. Pickett's got 4. Melbourne back in front. And this game continues to twist and turn.
Well, this was a critical contest. Zerk Thatcher flying against Aliir, but you just see Cozzy there, head down. Zach Butters, who's also quick, good body work. See you later. Off to the races, off and gone. And did he love it? Had some nice words to say on the way back through to Zerk Thatcher as well. Bit of advice. What a great way to respond after giving away a shot on goal and a free kick.
Some spice in this contest at the moment. Huge 4 points up for grabs. Oliver gets involved. Handball to Langdon was good, but the kick only as far as Logan Evans at half back. Plenty of time left in this game, and you feel there's some twists and turns to come. Tension all around the MCG at the moment. Kane Farrell's kick. He wants Charlie Dixon, and he got rid of Max Gawn. That was a brilliant contested mark. Kicks it inside forward 50. Marty Hoare gets back into the hole. Judd McVie with some composure to Billings. That next kick important, just a little too tall for the target. Melksham. Good off the hands of Dan Houston and out of bounds.
Probably heard those birds through the effects mark all night. Plenty around.
3-point game. Boak. Inside 50. Rioli. Front and centre. Well done, Rosie. Taps to Burgoyne. Immediately taken by McVie.
He's had a great couple of minutes. McVie, beautiful one-on-one win before, one out against Rioli. Sticks a tackle there. Critical moments, that's what this game's going to come down to, no doubt about it.
Gawn against Dixon. Gawn takes it out, but can't get an effective handball. Oliver tries to bust through Burgoyne. Neil Bullen flipped it to Salem. Now to Langdon. On to Tolstra. Floats a kick to half forward. Awkward one for Fritsch. Controls it. But Jones takes in the ground.
No cry. And just keeping that ball in there. It was a great tackle, a great effort. You can see the Port numbers arriving. Just hold that up. Now you can get Max in there, give yourself a chance at the stoppage.
It's a big win from Charlie Dixon. He's pushed it straight off the side of the boot out of bounds. Interesting decision, this one. Trouble. Look at the joy of that Melbourne supporter. He couldn't have been happier. Ed Langdon gets a free kick. Shane Warne stands side of the MCG. It might be a goal either way that could be the difference. Disco Turner gets involved. The handball just missed Chandler. Puts his hand up and they will reset again. You're in the right part of the ground if you're a Melbourne supporter.
Inside 50, 7-5 Port Adelaide's way in this final term, and there's the tension. Port Adelaide with a showdown and a trip to Perth against Freo in the final 2 rounds. Gone out of the ruck. A one-on-one. The pitches for Zerk Thatcher. He keeps it alive. Dangerous kick. Billings can't mark. He snaps. And he misses. Opportunity goes begging for the D's. 2-point game as we approach the midway point of the final term.
Jeez, that was bowled by Thatcher. Would have probably preferred him to just run it through, reset.
He nearly played it perfectly. He waited for the pressure to come, but then when it did, he panicked and then
kicked it.
Yeah, Dunn kicked it out. Big let off too. Billings should have taken the first one,
100%.
or realised the time and space and been good enough to finish. That's a golden opportunity gone begging. Max Gawn though, he's having a real say in this one. He's been enormous. Comes up against Charlie Dixon here. A nice chance for the Melbourne mids to run a little route.
Christian Petrarca looking on. Gawn and Dixon. Some power between those two. That's a slick handball from Tolstrup. Billings has just been a little bit fumbly. Got it back to the youngster Tolstrup. Bends the kick around. Big contest in front. Lockie Jones powerfully went after it. Dan Houston put a saddle on with Kate Chandler and rode him over the boundary line. And Melbourne, all of a sudden, Jones, you can just feel their spirits going to another level.
Yeah, absolutely. You sense they're being reinvigorated by those critical moments I mentioned before. It's every opportunity, it's just nailing, it's remaining focused and concentrating. Execution's key.
Sweet. And it strip came back to him. Got some territory, bounces it down the line. Gawn versus Radigalea, off his boot. Umpire says off the knee. Down the race goes
Miles Bergman.
Miles Bergman.
Jace, he's been trying to get warm, looking so sore, getting a lot of work after that massive landing he had down in the Port defence. I'd love to get him back out there, but he's very, very sore at the moment. The other little concern is Judd McVie on the Melbourne bench. I'm not sure what the problem is, but a bit sore as well.
And that massive cork buttock from Miles Bergman. An update on McVie shortly as Chandler's taken to the line. So Max scored 21 possessions, 14 contested. He's had the most in the game. There's McVie.
Yeah, you can see restrapping that ankle, so obviously he's gone over on it, but he'll get that restrapped by the staff and then get back out there as soon as he can.
And you can see Max Gawn there having his last rest. A real opportunity here for Sweet without the Premier Ruckman alongside him.
He was guzzling the pickle juice, Max. With cramp avoidance is the theory behind that. Melch in the sub. That was bold and ambitious, but it's going to land with a lap of Fritz. He's got Disco Turner. Clever kick to Tolstrup. Great composure for Bailey Fritz. Almost thought about the handball back days here, but I think this is the right moment in his 8th game for Colton Tolstrup. Never had a bigger moment in his life.
No, and from all reports, he's the kid that he's made for these sort of moments, Jonesy. Confidence not lacking.
Not lacking.
And has ability to match it, though.
Absolutely. Highly rated internally. Here's his moment.
Pick 13 in last year's draft from Esperance in WA. Colton Tolstrup has missed just about the lot. But we're out to a 5-point margin.
Just got a little bit close to the man on the mark, it looked like, in his run-up.
Goal to Port Adelaide would see them jump from 5th back to 2nd on the live ladder. That's what's on the line. Farrell up the middle. Tracking in the air is McDonald. Got the fist away from Radigalea. Sweeping through was Butters. Flips a handball back to the numbers. It's Evans. He pops one over the top. Boat's going to be run down immediately by Chandler. And that has been one of the highlights of Melbourne's game tonight. That tackle pressure has been outstanding. Both teams have thrown everything at each other from the opening bounce. Wines. Rosie. Picked up by Sparrow. Pickett's got to go. Stays down. Gathers. Fumbles. Flips it. Sparrow. Bends to the top of the square. Turner throws a boot at it. And it's a 1-goal game.
Still so much footy to be played. 8 minutes left on the clock. You sense Melbourne's got all the momentum at the minute. We already touched on it. Re-energised with some terrific individual efforts. The Port will have their time.
The draw works for Port Adelaide. And importantly, Max Gord has taken his final break. You can just see he's towing himself off. The captain, Choco Williams, bargaining some final instructions. Melbourne season on the line. Rosie hurries the kick forward. Salem, he'll be wanting the boundary line. Good tackle pressure, but that's popped up to Boak. Big chance now for Port Adelaide. He went the down the line option and it found the boundary line. There's a question being asked, but they'll go the territory gain here, Port Adelaide. 7.5 minutes remaining. A 1-goal game.
The good news for Port Adelaide, Miles Bergman running onto the ground now, so he's working through that really sore left hip, left glute.
Still looks pretty sore, doesn't he, Liggy? He'll grind it out for the last 7.5. He's got Cozzy Pickett to play on as the deepest forward. Boak tries to get rid of Oliver, gets it to Wines, will bend it back. Narkle tracks it in the air. Quinton Narkle, the former Cat, 41 games for Geelong in 6 seasons. Was delisted at the end of 22, trained with Richmond, hoping to get a spot on the list. That didn't eventuate. Played 4 games in the VFL for Essendon last year. Port Adelaide picked him up in the mid-season draft, threw him a lifeline. Can he tie things up? It's all square at the G. He kicked 3 goals, 9 for the season coming into that one. beautifully, split the middle. And we are all locked up with 6:40 to play.
Well, it was disorganised from the start. Port Adelaide had the 3 players out the back of the stoppage, that being Horne-Francis, Rosie and Butters, but that was just a little bit of spread from the stoppage. He was involved up in the front side of it was Narkle, and Jake Lever will be absolutely spewing on himself for that effort. Prides himself on one-on-one defence, being able to stand up. Chance there wasn't good enough.
How about the drama unfolding here at the MCG scores level? Zach Butters, brilliant little pass to Horne-Francis, and the A-graders are getting involved. Class of Butters, and Jason Horne-Francis will like his chances.
Well, similarly, he had a shot from a similar distance up the other end and pulled the kick late. I was backing him in on that occasion, and I'll do it again here.
Big deep breath. 50-metre shot. Superb young player. Is he the man for the moment? Gives it a good ride. Doesn't quite get there. Narkle. Kick the last goal. Can he get it back to back opportunity centre and kick brilliant front of Narkle. Superb to Rosie.
They're going to review this as well, though, Das, before Rosie can have his shot.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you.
I believe it's no score. I'd just like to check if the ball crossed the line.
Sure. Score review. Umpire's call is no score. Can we check to see if the ball crossed the behind line?
Sure. Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball has crossed the back of the behind line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Great work from the score reviewer. Did not hesitate. And more drama. What do you think, Daisy?
Slightly confused. I believe it's no score, but wanted to check. Happy with it. It's a right result. That's the win.
Tomlinson goes long. Oliver the crump. Port Adelaide by a point. Back up to second spot on the ladder just like that. But Chandler slips away. Needs to pop the handball. Turner puts it behind Langdon. And the moment's lost for the D's.
And the confusion in more so, if that play stays live, what happens? If the ball was not a mark, if it had been rolled out and the shot on goal then came back, do you have the chance? Again, probably more questions than answers from me here, Jonesy, but we move on.
Giving yourself a grave.
Warning Sweet. Sweet takes it from the rack. Rosie involved again. Hoisted high to half forward. Radigalea. And Tomlinson, it gets over the back. Mead works hard to get there first. Will look inside. Can he find an option? Pulls the kick. Tolstrup's got to go, and he does against Rioli. Ball spills out. Langdon. Narkle picks it up. Will go nowhere. Ball up. 45 from goal, and we are inside 5 minutes.
And this is what you love, that contest there. Full committed, both players.
Holding Melbourne flag. Climb back on. Stand clear.
Free kick, Max score. That's what's in front of him. Connors with Rosie being a big factor in this quarter. 8 disposals, 4 clearances. Petty gave a great contest. Spills to Viney. Gets it to Pickett. Heads in the Melksham direction. He's got good hands as a wall. Bergman got across and got it out of bounds.
So just watching Melksham in that last passage of play, up relatively high on the off-ball side, quickly tries to get out the back, utilising his nous and forward craft. He'll be sniffing a goal. He's the one to watch. Could be a match winner for the D's.
So Jones has now got the job on Pickett. You can see them there just to the left of the centre of the screen. Bergman switched back over to Melksham. There is Jones. Kick only as far as McVie. Tosses it on the boot. Tomlinson inside 50. Well done, Horne-Francis. Involved at one end, pushes back at the other.
Yeah, he's doing it everywhere. He's done it all night. He's impressive. His growth as a player.
And he was the extra at that stoppage from the Port Adelaide point of view. Up the other side it was Judd McVie. So McVie has the initial impact, kicks it straight back to his direct opponent.
Burgoyne to the wing, Gawn there. Tomlinson over the top. Langdon couldn't take it cleanly. Rioli did. He's on Francis again. Off a step. Semi-spiral. He'll come back. For the line, Rivers inside to Lever. And we are inside 4 minutes.
Switches on if they want to explore it.
Sides instead to head back down the line. They need a contest. Almost a mark down there to Houston. Charging through Oliver. Chandler managed to get a handball out. Horn Francis barreled into. And he has been a big player in this game. Jason Horn Francis at both ends of the ground. Standing up strong at half back.
Yeah, he's got the want and the make. Everything that you want in these moments. Attacks it head on. Hard, tough.
Port Adelaide this year have had a 1-point win, a 2-point win, and a 3-point win. Can they do it again in a close game? Willem Drew, handball over the top. Rosie's been enormous. Gets it to Jones. Short one to both. Has had a huge night as well. Disposal number 29.
Working hard to space is Mead. Look at the D's. They've got numbers back everywhere here. They need to be switched on because Porter is drifting into the area, looking for a hole. There's a short lead off it from Butters. But Mead will go longer. D's look to have it covered in the air, but on the ground it's Burn-Jones. Ball spills out in the muddy. Hore tackle. Howes chips the kick. Dangerous. And Narkle again, the super sub, having an impact in this final term. Running past is Houston. He can launch from 52. It's flat. It's long. It's Burgoyne, and it's a behind.
Millimetres away. The power cheer squad is saying, what about paying a mark to Jace Burgoyne? Not going to happen. They go out wide to the wing. Melksham charged at it. Bergman kept his feet brilliantly. Burgoyne slicks the handball, looking back for Burn-Jones. Ed Langdon, spinning effort, has drawn a free kick. Under 2 minutes remaining. If they can go coast to coast and a goal, it's their game, Melbourne. Langdon looking around. Again, they go back down the line. Got to get a contested mark. And sitting there, Alier, as he does so often, in the right spot.
So Melbourne have to now get all their numbers, try and find a man one-on-one. You cannot allow 5, 10, 20 seconds be knocked off the clock here.
This is the one, this is the technical one. Jason Horn Francis is playing as a forward, up the field as a spare number. They have to shuffle down.
Braun at the front. Fist over the top. Farrell a fumble. Here's a chance for the D's. Maybe their last one. Into space. Rivers. But stock it forward. Horn Francis again's been enormous.
Huge performance, Jason Horn Francis. Disposal number 25. He's kicked 2 goals. 59 seconds. This is a good option. They couldn't afford to do exactly this to Houston. And precious seconds tick off the clock. Melbourne have got to press up down to 48 seconds. Horn Francis again. Got another target out there. Kane Farrell going to take the maximum amount of time possible right now and ice the game here for Port Adelaide. Called to play on. Drives it down the line. Can they get a mark? Max Gaunt bounced off his chest. Mark paid to Burn-Jones, was it? Short one's okay to Rosie. Takes advantage and then goes short back to Horn Francis, who has been everywhere.
Yeah, that's again, he's just playing up the field as a spare number. Him and Rosie up to 10 for the quarter as well.
Final kick inside 50. And the Power take another step towards the double chance. Port Adelaide win 4 in a row. They're travelling nicely in the race for September, while the D's look done for 2024. So inside 2 goals for the whole night. What a fight, what a scrap, and what a win for Port Adelaide in the context of this season. They will sit second tonight with a showdown to come next week. Todd Marshall won't be there. He'll be in concussion protocols. They found a way, Lingy. Zach Butters, 30 touches, outstanding.
Yeah, they found a way. That was a hard one, Zach, but you got there. Yeah, definitely a close game. We knew coming into it, they were playing for the season, so we knew it was going to be tight. They're a contested team, so they've got some big balls in there, and big Gorney and Trap and Viney, so we knew it was going to be tough, but got there in the end, and it's a tight competition, so good to make some points.
Probably great to see. Obviously, last week something special, and you've got total control of the game. To win a different way must give you even more belief.
Yeah, definitely. It's something we spoke about in the three-quarter time. Probably didn't have the best first half, and then we tweaked a few things and really brought some more energy and more pressure around the ball, and I thought that really kept us in the end gave us a win.
And the midfield group, yourself and Connor, but then also Jason Horne-Francis to play a bit of a different role in that last quarter behind the ball. He was terrific, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a special player, mate. He can go forward and play full forward, and I love playing with him, and he's going to be a talent to watch for many years, and he's a superstar.
We continue to love your dare too. We know it's the kick inside to the corridor from yourself, but that's what Kenny obviously fills you with that belief. Go for those ones.
Yeah, most definitely. I turned a few over early, so I'm actually not the smartest, so I tend to just keep pulling the trigger and keep going for him, but sometimes Ken gives me a clip, but most of the time he backs me in, and that's why I like playing with him.
Well, we love watching you play. Well done tonight. Great job.
All Australian Best and Fairest Coaches Association MVP last year, having even better season this year. As we take a look at the live ladder, Port Adelaide back up to second spot. Then you consider they are 5-0 in games by 6 points or less this year. That's how tight the season's been, but every time they've been in a close one, they've managed to win it, and their skipper would be delighted. 28 touches tonight for Connor Rosie.
It was terrific again tonight, Jace. You're absolutely right. We're just looking at the live ladder there. I think you're up to second on the ladder. So it's such a tight competition, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. It was only 4 or 5 weeks ago that people were probably questioning if we were going to be around the 8. So we put a good run of form together now, and I feel like we've sort of figured out what makes us tick a little bit, and we made things a little bit hard for ourselves tonight, but another super effort.
It feels like you guys are now getting even more and more belief in your ability to finish in those last quarter. You had so much run towards the end there.
Yeah, definitely. That comes with confidence of just putting yourselves in those positions again and again. And this group is growing closer and closer throughout the year, and there's certainly full belief that anything's possible if we play the right way. And sometimes you've got to scrap away and play different sort of game style every now and then, and Melbourne are credit to them. They're a really good defensive team, and they made us work for it tonight.
How's your leadership evolving in those situation close finishes? What are you trying to bring to the game and to the team?
I think first and foremost is leading by example. Those last quarters where it's nice and tight and things get a little bit more contested and slow, and I think Zach and I really pride ourselves on trying to step up in those moments, and then the challenge is to try and get outside yourself and help each other out a little bit. But again, if we keep putting ourselves in those positions, we'll keep growing as leaders and as players.
You certainly stepped up in the last quarter. Well done tonight. Great effort. Port make it 4 in a row. They win a thriller at the MCG by 2 points and jump up to second on the league ladder, and that pretty much sums it up 4 weeks ago. Were they going to be around the 8? Well, they're into the top 2, and what a game of footy. It was tight or not. It was a point to Port at quarter time, Del, and then it was 3 points at half time, Melbourne, and 3/4 time, and then Port Adelaide. Just that last bit of the arm wrestle, bang, hit the table when it mattered.
It was dour, and as we spoke about at 3/4 time, it was going to come down to just taking some opportunities in front of goal conversion, but it was an arm wrestle from the word go, and it didn't get much easier throughout the course of the night, but overall, full credit to Port. That was the start of the last quarter. Charlie Dixon hadn't had a big night. A lot of the football seemed to go through Radaglia. That was their direction and their path forward. It worked sometimes, it didn't at others, but that's why Charlie Dixon is so important. He just straightens them up at the right time.
There is Horne-Francis once again laying that tackle.
Yeah, he was fantastic. He was fantastic in that last quarter. Horne-Francis in a position of behind the ball, basically. He sort of set himself behind the ball, wait there, and took some pivotal marks. Connor Rosie was fantastic, and in the second half as well. Isaiah Pickett was phenomenal, and we didn't get to the 5 end that we wanted for.
He almost did.
But Connor Rosie's had 10 in the third quarter, 9 in the last quarter, had 4 clearances in the last quarter. So he was pivotal, the captain. You asked the leaders to stand up at three-quarter time, Dal, and specifically Connor Rosie, Zach Butters, and Jason Horn-Francis. And Horn-Francis and Rosie certainly did that.
Yeah, and if you look over the most explosive games out of the game, Zach Butters, Travis Bogue, and Dan Houston, Connor Rosie as well. So their midfield, like you said, Jack, just absolutely dominated in that last quarter.
I loved what Rosie just said then in that post-game interview about we pride ourselves on this. He said, me and Zach. So they're aware of their situation, about their importance to this team as leaders. He said, and then we need to get outside of ourselves and support the team as well. And it was tough. This was an interesting moment that you noticed, Jack, on that particular one.
Lost 8 seconds there.
6 seconds. 6 seconds.
So I lost the 8 seconds. So we were sort of hoping there might have been a close finish. Well, David Zeta was certainly hoping for a close finish because he would have had a news story there. But look, I think Ken would come away from this, and I don't know whether he would be that wrapped. I think if he wrapped, they got the win because the points are important. Like you jump from 5th to 2nd, and there's sort of snakes and ladders at the moment with any type of victory. But I reckon he'd look at that and go, well, we've been smacked by 30 in contested possession. Yeah. Now you roll up in finals and get beat by 30, you'll get beat by 60 points.
Yep,
correct.
So whilst they get the win, away from home at a ground where they play big games of footy at the MCG, they didn't play a great brand of finals footy.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I completely agree, because when you hear any player or coach speak, they speak about the process and our style of football, which for a lot of the night, I reckon both teams would have said that's not our best football, but I reckon Ken will also find some positive in that. Last week, they could not do a thing wrong. They could have done anything they wanted, and it all just came off last week. Tonight wasn't that. Tonight they had to just find a way. So I completely agree. Those numbers are damning, and they need to tidy that up as the season progresses and as they get into finals. But I reckon he'd also say, boys, you just found a way, and sometimes you've just got to do that and get it done.
Well, yeah, like I said, as both of you said, winning on the MCG is most important. That's where the final footy is played, and they got that win, but they'll learn from it.
They've had 56 inside 50s Port for 53 points.
Yeah.
56 inside 50s for 53 points. So that's not the sort of conversion that they want.
Highlights, though, Marshall goes down with the injury. Georgiades out. Now, Georgiades out is a really important player for them. Charlie Dixon's not the player that he was 3 or 4 years ago. So, look, they're still exploring with Radigalea and whatnot. So it's a step forward, but certainly some areas for improvement for Port Adelaide.
And certainly a step up to his second on the ladder. But for the full wrap of this game and all the other results and news from today, jump over to Fox Footy Channel 504.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
All right, there we go, folks. As we saw then, Port Adelaide came home with the win in this match. What a tight match it was. We're just going through the stats. You saw the player stats. Going through the team stats now. As we just run through them, you can all see those there. Free kicks, 24 free kicks to 15 Melbourne's favour. Hit-outs, Melbourne won that by 4. The clearances, Port Adelaide won that. Contested possessions, Melbourne on top there. Uncontested Port. Turnovers, both very high in the match together. Port Adelaide on top by the marks. Marks inside 15. Port Adelaide just about doubled Melbourne's. Contested marks in the air, around the ground. Melbourne was there. But it was a close match, folks. It was a close match. 7-11, 53 Port Adelaide defeat. Melbourne 7-9, 51. Of course, that last quarter, there wasn't much scoring going on. It was an arm wrestle like it was the entire match. 1 goal for Melbourne. Just inaccurate kicking cost them. Port Adelaide certainly pressed that last quarter. They kicked 2 goals, 3. Let's head over to the ladder now. And if we have a look at this live ladder, And that hasn't updated. Let me reload that again and see if that updates. No, we'll come back to it, but that does mean Port Adelaide have jumped to second. We'll give that a couple of moments there. And as we've heard from Paul in the chat, the Gold Coast Suns had a kick after the siren for victory, and they won. They won. Can you believe it? Every team is coming from behind this weekend, this round. All teams, pretty much all teams, I think, that have been trailing at three-quarter time have got up. So at Marvel Stadium, the Gold Coast Suns 13-9-87, they defeated the Essendon Bombers 12-14-86 by 1 point. 1 point in that match, and of course in tonight's match that we covered, it was 2 points. Wowee. You don't get much closer than that. The Demons should have won on the rate they were playing. They should have won. You know what? They should have won, but they just couldn't find their targets properly enough, and they, the defensive Port just cleaned it up pretty well. But yeah, I thought the same thing, Larry. I thought Melbourne probably should have won that game tonight, but Port found a way. They found a way to get the job done. Let's see if this live ladder. Let's see if this ladder. There we go. Now the ladder is live, and of course we see Port Adelaide now jump to second, 56 points, just a game behind Sydney Swans on the same points now as the Giants and the Cats. So that is going to be a race for second position. Of course, with Brisbane losing today, that puts them half a game out. So Brisbane really need the top three sides above them to lose, and they win to jump up. So there you go. And with that defeat for Essendon tonight, that drops them down into 9th. So there we go. Essendon could have been in the top 8. They could have been 7th. They would have been 7th if they had have won, but now they're outside of the top 8. And of course, we've still got Carlton and Western Bulldogs to play tomorrow. Doesn't really make much difference to the Gold Coast Suns who won tonight. They won't make the finals. Melbourne won't make the finals either. They'll have to wait until next year, even though there's 2 rounds to go. But Port Adelaide and the Giants and the Cats were the victors today, which pushed them up the ladder. All the top 4 sides so far have won. Brisbane lost, Fremantle lost, and we'll have to wait and see what the other 2 teams do. But it's going to be some more good matches there tomorrow, and we'll see if the ladder changes yet again. But another great day of football, folks. We had some nice close matches in there. That's what we like to see. The AFL footy is nice and close and exciting to the end. But I think that's about all I've got for this one to wrap the footy up. Thanks everyone for coming in. We had quite a few people coming in. Thanks, Jamie came in early. Ryan was in there. Wenny was in here. Chris was in here. He was at a nice place, enjoying watching the games. Arlo was in there. Eddie G was in here. Of course, thanks to Stay Hunky, who was in here for a while. HKE came in. Thanks for that. There we go. And thanks, Paul. Thanks for the updates there. I don't know how your tips went. You didn't say who your tips went for. And, of course, thanks, Larry the Drone. We did have that poll tonight. Who was going to win this game? Of course, we had 49 votes. 53% went for Melbourne, 46% went for Port Adelaide, and 1% went to the Fairies, because we never know where that 1% went to. As always, the poll is very close. You picked Port and Suns. There we go. Centre all. You're on fire. You're winning, Paul. Keep the winning form up. I just wish your tip had a won last night in the Maggies. That would have been good. But not to worry. We're all set for the next week. It'll be pretty good for... just check out tomorrow's games that's happening around the traps. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to cover any games tomorrow. I've got an appointment, so... yeah, there you go. So I won't be able to cover any games. But it would have been fan. I would have loved to have covered a couple of games here tomorrow, which would have been Carlton and Hawthorn. That's going to be an exciting match. That one at the MCG. I figure that to be very close, a lot of pressure. I tell you what, that's going to be a ring-a-ding-ding game there tomorrow. Of course, Richmond and St Kilda playing there at Marvel Stadium. I don't think it really matters who wins that game. Of course, we've got Adelaide Crows and the Western Bulldogs. That'll be a cracker of a game also at the Adelaide Oval coming up. And that will round out this weekend's games. And then we've got 2 rounds of the home and away season left until we kick off into the final series, which is going to be, well, let's say, I think this could be one of the best finals we've seen in a long, long time. So even across the board. All right, folks, that's about all I'm going to be talking for. I'll leave this board up for about a minute, just for any latecomers in who want to come in and check the score out to see who won. But as you can see by the worm here, we had quite a few lead changes. Port Adelaide in front, then Melbourne. Then Port Adelaide took the front in the second, then Melbourne back again. Melbourne hung on all the way in that third quarter, but then Port Adelaide came strong. Melbourne took it back, and then Port Adelaide took it away from Melbourne for victory tonight. All right, folks, thanks very much. Ciao for now, and we'll see you in the next live.